Hey Jillian, how's it going?
Hey Ryan, doing great. How are you?
Doing good. And welcome everyone to the Monster Leads Lab. Thanks for everyone for showing up here. This is day one. You all in the right spot right here. So we're excited to get started. We're going to be bringing Philip on here in a second, but let's get into it.
Great.
All right. Let's see here.
All right, there we go.
Yep.
Okay. Well, guys, welcome. I am so excited to be here. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Um, Congratulations to everybody joining us. You guys are stumbling on something awesome. Today, I cannot wait. You guys are going to learn some really good information, actually actionable information that's going to make a big difference in your career. So I'm going to jump right in. I am Jillian Ambrose. I'm a realtor and a real estate investor out of Wichita, Kansas. Good old Doodah. You can see right there in the very center. I grew up in real estate. And here in Kansas, I'm sure that a lot of you are kind of wondering if this is going to make a big difference for your market, wherever you guys are located. And I'm in Wichita, Kansas, and it's currently working for me. And the reality of it is that what you're about to learn today is only going to work where people are aging, which is everywhere. So if you're joining us from wherever you guys are today, you're about to learn some awesome information that's really going to help you in your business. So Jillian Ambrose grew up in real estate. My family are realtors, been realtors for years and years. Not so much on the real estate investing side. I kind of got to jumpstart that with my brothers. So I'm very excited. I never wanted to be in real estate with two parents in real estate and both of my older siblings, all realtors. I thought it sounded boring and I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. So I, as a rebel, as the only girl and the baby, I completely rebelled and studied music and dance growing up and found myself working for the Walt Disney Company where I was Tinkerbell. Turns out worked my way up super quick there and realized that I was ready for something a little bit more challenging. And so, much to my family's dismay, I had just made it out of Kansas and I ended up coming back where I wanted to start investing in real estate. I then bought my very first house. And you guys, I probably could have picked an easier first project, but I met this woman and she had found herself in a really terrible living situation. She had started to have some cognitive decline and was really in need of some memory care. And her house was kind of falling apart around her, and it was just getting to be way too much to maintain. So she kept falling ill, and nobody could figure out what was going on until it came time that they just wanted to sell the house and get mom into a community where she could have the help that she needed. I found out what was wrong. Her basement had flooded so much that if you walk down to the basement, you would be swimming. I don't mean a little bit of standing water at the baseboards. I mean a swimming pool in the basement. And it was making her very sick and furthering her cognitive decline. So much so that she would go outside and look for her cat, start calling her one and only cat, pick up her cat and take it back inside with her for the night. Turns out she had, what just happened? Uh-oh.
You're still on. You're still good. You're
Oh my
good.
gosh. Okay, cool. Well, turns out that she had started stealing everybody's cats. And so when I bought this house, I bought this house with a swimming pool in the basement and ended up having 21 cats living inside that house. So could have found an easier first project, but I felt called to help this woman. And I bought this house, spent every dollar I ever had to put her in a better living situation. I moved her several states away and got her the help that she needed, and got to where she was living closer to her son and her grandkids. And she got to live out the rest of her life, one, in a better living situation, which then helped her health. But two, just got to enjoy the last years of her life. And I made wonderful money that I then was able to buy my next flip and my next flip. And since then, my family has been called to help seniors, and we've dedicated our entire business to seniors and being the holistic approach for their housing needs. And that is what brought me to Mom's House and to my good friend, Philip Vincent. He has completely revolutionized the investing industry and is making huge moves to take care of our senior industry. And I'm so excited that you guys are here to learn from him. This is going to not only help you in your business find those leads, find those homes, because our senior population owns so much of our housing market, and they are getting ready to exit the real estate market. And they need people like us that are willing to step up, take good care of them, and reimagine the American dream and really help out our housing markets. So with all that said, you guys, I'm so excited to introduce CEO of Mom's House and my good friend, Philip Vincent.
Well, hi guys. Hello. Hi, Jillian. I want to let everybody know it is Jillian's birthday today. So let's all wish Jillian a happy birthday in the chat. We put in here, where is everyone from? Where is the furthest away? And go ahead and put in the chat, guys, where you're from. We want to kind of see who's on here today with us. We're going to have some fun the next 2 days and learn a lot. Jillian said it best, that this is life-changing information if you can implement it and use it and go out and put it into practice. And so a lot of us, we're talking about seniors and we're talking about housing. You said it a few times there. The number one thing we do is get them to the best care. And in that moment, when they're realizing that they're going to need care, helping them figure out that care, that in that instant is the moment when they say, oh man, we're going to need to sell Mom's house to pay for that care. And so today we're going to talk about real estate, and we're going to talk about where the best leads come from in a world where real estate investors and seniors, how do they get along with each other? We're going to go over that, about how we coexist. And Jillian, you said it best. In fact, I think the number is $30 trillion, guys. That's with 12 zeros, if you're wondering. $30 trillion are basically our national debt, is how much equity that boomers and their parents have in those houses. And with Jillian's story about the lady with the cats, that happens, that's not an uncommon story. That's a quite common story about when it's time to move into senior living. And guys, if you're a stats person or a numbers person like I am, people always say, Phil, what a great little niche you have here. And I always say, you got to know the numbers first. It's 7 out of 10 Americans over the age of 65. 7 out of 10 are going to live in some sort of long-term care before they pass away. So this is it. This is where real estate's coming from, guys. You always wonder where the inventory is or where the inventory is coming from. Jillian, she said her and her family are devoting their lives to helping seniors. That's what Mom's House does. Yep. Is that we have devoted our lives to making this process of unlocking that equity for care easier. And so we're going to go over that today. We're going to share with you guys very valuable information about how you can do this in your own market. And so let's get started. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Okay. Let me see if I can click there. No, click here. Oh, my first question, here we are, day one, Monster Leads Lab. We're going to share with you guys what you're going to learn is how to generate these leads on your own. Let me get this off, by the way. I don't think I can be a mad scientist all day long. My first question I always like to say, too, in the chat, guys, is what kitchen did you grow up in? And what I did is I Googled most popular kitchen of the 80s, most popular kitchen of the 70s, most popular kitchen of the 60s, and then now the 90s. And so, Jillian, I've been doing this for 25 years, this real estate thing. And so when I see the 1990s on there, that's pretty funny to me because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s kitchens. Yeah. Almost everybody we talk to is in the 70s and 60s, but it's starting to push newer and newer decades. And so what kitchen you grow up in tells me a lot about how you lived. And a lot of people said they've lived in all sorts of houses like this. When I first started this, though, years ago, we had a lot of 1950s kitchens, and it seems to be getting older. If you do the math, guys, someone that's 83 right now, in 1983, they were 40 years old, or if they were 80 years old. So do that math. Like that person right now, me at 45 years old, that person in the 80s was in the prime of their life. And now here they are, they're 80, 83 years old. This is the average age of someone moving into senior living. And it wasn't that long ago that they were in their 40s living in a 1980s kitchen. And it keeps pushing older and older. You see the 1990s there, the pickled color cabinets that was super popular. I'm to the point where I can walk into a house almost instantly and tell you what decade it's from just on the colors and the shape of the cabinets. We start off with this nostalgia for lots of reasons. Both Jillian and I, we love our mothers. I hope you guys love your mother as well. Our mothers are important people in our lives. And this idea of helping mom or dad, right? And guys, why is it called Mom's House? I'll give you the stats. 7 out of 8 people seeking senior living are females. Why? We die first. Men die first for lots of reasons. We won't go into the why that is. We just seek help a lot later and less often. And so men do pass away on average earlier. Your situation might be different, but that is 7 out of 8. And what I even like to is, let's say dad is the one that's still alive. The family usually says, hey, what are we going to do with mom's house? Mm-hmm. Because if you have that strong mom in your life, they're a big part of who ruled the roost. And so who am I? I'm Philip Vincent. I hope you guys have seen me not only on Facebook, maybe other places like Bigger Pockets, some of these podcasts that are national. I've been out here for a few years now talking about how senior living is the future of real estate. That's where leads are. And guys, when I say the word leads, I really want you to know I mean the word families. So write that down. If you got some notes today, get a pen and paper. I'm going to give you guys lots of juicy, good nuggets. These are families. Investors think about bricks and sticks, and I think about the person. Taking care of the person and the families and the adult child that's going through this. When you take care of them, the byproduct of caring about these people is getting to buy the real estate. Most investors, though, only can think about the bricks and sticks and the transaction and moving on to the next deal. So here's my family. That's my wife, Melissa, my son, Sterling and Drake. This is why I work. My Vincent family, I worked very hard to build this family. I won't bore you with my life story, but I worked very hard to build a family, and a family that I would love to come home to every single day, that we participate in sports and activities together. And the reason why I can afford to do that, and the reason why I have that time to do that, is because of real estate. Real estate is a powerful thing. And, you know, Jillian, you said you wanted to be Tinkerbell, right? And then and real estate drug you back. It's because real estate's a powerful thing. Most millionaires in the United States are made from real estate. And so all of us listening right now, I always say you can either complain about what things cost, or you can learn how to make more money. That's the two options. If you complain about what things cost, it doesn't get you anywhere, but you can make more money. I can't make groceries be less money, but I can make more money. And so, guys, we do have an agenda here over these next 2 days. We're going to stream for about 2 hours today, give you guys a ton of information. And for anyone that's joined the VIP, it's an amazing value. It's an additional hour with all the VIP members. You guys can check your email to see that. If you have questions about that, go to info@momshouse.com for that. We're going to have a Zoom link to that VIP. The agenda today, why this matters, the reason why this matters is because the senior living industry is the driver of where the real estate is going to come from over the not just next few months, guys, but for the next 15 years. This matters very much. We all want to be in this real estate business, and we want to be able to find the next deal. This matters very much because if you take this seriously, this is where the deals will come from. Mm-hmm. We're going to show you today who to build the relationships with. We're going to tell you exactly where to find them, what to say, who to be to them, so that way you can build a ongoing or reoccurring lead source. Imagine that, guys. Imagine having one lead source that brings you 3 or 4 deals a year. How hard would you fight to build that relationship? We're going to talk about how you market to them and how you network with them. And did I mention these best leads in the industry are actually free? And so that is really exciting. We don't want to waste anyone's time. We know that, especially with learning about senior living, guys, we know that time is our most valuable asset. And so what does this mean for you for being here today? I want to show you guys how to build a continuous flow of high quality leads. it's not so much just to have leads, guys. If you just want leads or random leads, you can find those very cheaply. But high quality leads in real estate is super valuable. The high quality leads is what you should be shooting for. I'd rather talk to a few families and buy a couple houses than I would try to find the needle in the haystack with really low quality leads. And so when you value your time and when you start, write this down, when you start only working with people that want your service, your life will change. These leads are actually free. The best leads in real estate are free, and we're going to show you how to get those. Imagine, guys, if you added 20 deals a year to your current business. I know in our market, or the blended average across the industry is about 18,000 is what the average wholesale fee is in the United States. That information comes from Easy REI. They're a real estate CRM, and they see, I think it was $94 million in transactions through their system. That was the average wholesale fee was $18,000. So guys, even if you did one deal a month, let's not even say 20, if you did one deal a month, what would an extra $200,000 a year mean? You know, that's CEO money with part-time effort. That's a really exciting thing. To build a recession-proof business should be your goal. In fact, I would even call it a pandemic-proof business. Senior living proved to us through COVID that you can't put the toothpaste back into the tube. This is going to be relevant and real through just about anything. And so it's a recession-proof business, these relationships in this industry. A lot of people, especially people that are real estate agents right now, are scrambling, trying to figure out where their next deal is going to come from. And so number 5 is really important to me. And I think for everyone listening here, guys, if you don't care about people, this is not the right webinar or challenge for you. You have to care about people. And the reason why it's not only the right thing to do, but it's the way you work in senior living. It has its own language, and we're going to teach you about that language, how you can get integrated into that to not only be successful, but to become a tool that the senior living industry uses every single day in their business. Yeah. Guys, everyone cares about what's in it for them. I care about it. Jillian cares about it. Everyone listening, you care about it as well. What's in it for you? And we're going to show you that today, that you get to truly help those in need. You get to become a tool that the senior living industry, the right job titles, use every day to help them with their business. And number 6, guys, it helps you to stand out from the competition. Who's the competition we have? It's everybody. Everybody's your competition. Every person doing bandit signs, direct mail, every real estate agent, everyone that's doing pay-per-click, all the people that are out there trying to find deals. This helps you stand out from the competition. Everyone seems to be doing Me Too marketing right now, and they're not having the success they want. And guys, when you do Me Too anything, you're not standing out from the competition. So this is very different. People always say this just hit different. Mom's house just felt different. And I always say, good, that means it's working. Our messaging is working because this is different than the typical real estate lead source. Guys, what if you are a real estate agent? You know, both Jillian and I have a real estate license. So what if you are a realtor? Or what if you're just starting out? Is that okay? What if you're an experienced investor? All of those are fine. Guys, if you're just starting out in real estate, what I don't have to do is unlearn commission talk or real estate agent talk from a person just starting out. So guys, if you haven't done a deal yet, that's great. You do not have to have a license to buy someone's home. And if you're an experienced investor, you already know how hard you work, even for real estate agents, how hard we work in our industry to get leads. We always wanted to be in the home buying business, home flipping business, but we realized very quickly, oh man, I think we're actually in the marketing business. So guys, if you're a real estate agent, great, that's going to help you. If you're just starting out, that's great. You don't have to have a license to do this. And if you're an experienced real estate investor, you already know the value of great leads. And so to find these leads for free, that is a pretty powerful thing. So guys, what we're looking for is 2 things. You have to love real estate and you have to love helping people or helping others. And I would say number 2 actually goes in front of number 1. If you can love helping others, if you can be less transactional and more about the person and caring about them and their family in a situation, guys, which is probably one of the hardest times of their lives, not probably, it is. And anyone that's going through this right now, my heart goes out to you. If I could virtually hug you right now, I would, because I know how hard this is for families. I always say that families that get along don't get along during this process. And why? It's really hard to move your mother out of her forever home into what's most likely going to be her final place to live. And I do mean that, a place to live, not a place to just go and die. The senior living industry is very good at helping people bring up their living situation. When Jillian talked about the lady with the cats, when she got moved into better care, I guarantee that she lived out better than when she was on her own. And so it's very hard to pull someone out of their forever home. They don't want to do it. Everyone wants to age in place, right? So do I, so do you. And yet the numbers show that 7 out of 10 at some point will not be able to do that. And today what we're going to teach you how to do is be right at that flashpoint of that moment when they say, I need to move into senior living, guys. And so that moment is the flashpoint of when the best real estate leads are produced. So guys, I want to welcome our VIP members. I know a lot of you guys signed up for that VIP. We always reward our action takers. So I want to talk about those VIP people today. After this session today, we're going to jump on the Zoom for about an hour. You're going to be able to hop on that call with only other VIP members via Zoom. I'm going to show you how to build your 20 is plenty list. Ryan and I love to pick someone out of the crowd, one of the VIP members, and actually build it for you guys live to show you how to start building your personal list. And what is your personal list? What does 20 is plenty mean, Philip? What does that mean, right? 20 is plenty is what I refer to as the people in your town where you live that you're going to be networking with and building relationships with. Those people that we'll teach you about today, that is the list that I never had when I first started off in senior living. These people are the ones that are having the tough conversations with families every single day about where is mom going to get the best care. When they're having that conversation, it's called discovery. You might want to write that down. When they're in the discovery process, one of the things that they talk about is how are you going to pay for care? And that's when they bring up the subject of mom's house. So these people you're going to build relationships with, we're going to show you how, no matter where you live, we're going to go online, pick somebody out of the crowd and build your 20 is plenty list. So that way, you know, when you're out networking that if Bob or if Cindy or if Julie is on that list, you're like, oh, there's somebody on my 20 is plenty list. You should pay attention to build relationships with those people in particular. When you're out networking in senior living, there'll be a few hundred people out there. Not all of them are going to bring you business. And so today we're going to cut through the noise and bring you right to the people that have been fruitful for me for the past 12 plus years in working in senior living, because they're having the tough conversations with the families every single day. We're going to dive deeper into the subject, also answer all of your questions. We're going to go through a lot. I talk really fast. I'm trying to talk slow right now. I talk really fast. We're going to start going faster here. And so the people on the VIP are always there asking the questions. I love my question askers because that's how I learn as well. So there's all questions are welcome. We're going to get you guys figured out on how to implement this in your business. You also get a copy of this slide deck. So because I do talk fast over these 2 days, having the slide deck that we go over this whole time is very valuable. So you can go down at your own pace and kind of go through and take more notes and build it out. We're also going to have the 20 is plenty workbook and guide. That's your action plan about how to build your list of people that you're going to build relationships with in your own market. It's one of the most important documents you're going to use. And I want to be clear here, guys. You just don't stop at 20. You might put 100 people on your 20 is plenty list. And then in the end, those people that know, like, and trust you, those are the relationships to where you're going to have a business that comes, or I should say, chases directly to you. Imagine a life when your business comes directly to you. We're going to have the replays of this as well, so you can go back and watch it. For anyone, we know it's midday, and so not everyone has the ability to watch this all the way through. We want you guys to stay on as long as you can today. And those people in the VIP get the downloads of this 2-day session. We're also going to have the replay downloads of the VIP coaching calls. We're also going to have role playing with a senior living professional. We're going to have 2 on. One is a coach for Mom's House, and one is actually a placement agent. Guys, a placement agent is kind of like a real estate agent, but for the senior living world. And we're going to do a live interview with him to show how we work together and what it takes to build relationships with people like Jeff. We're also going to do the scripting on what to say. I used to do it very wrong. Back in 2011, when I started in senior living, I put my foot in my mouth all the time. I don't want you guys to have that same pain that I did. And so this VIP, if you guys want to take us up on this offer, you still can. It's a single investment of only $97. And we'll let you guys know that right now that we reward our action takers. It's a small commitment to make to get these features so that way you can advance your business and start building relationships and implementing this teaching in your market right away. There's a ton of people that need to be helped. and we need a bigger boat. We need more help. That's why we're on here today, is to find people with the right heart condition, we call it, that want to go out and build their, as Jillian said, her family has devoted themselves to helping seniors. The byproduct of that helping, and what I do as well, is that I get to buy houses. And so if all of that sounds exciting or interesting, you're in the right place. That VIP experience, we go on live right after this. It's the private call with all of the VIP members. We get the slide deck of everything that we are going to go over these next 2 days. Can show you exactly how to build your 20th system, so that way you guys can walk away with this with something tangible, something actionable in your hand. We're going to give you a keyword search guide. It's done through Facebook. It's done through LinkedIn. It's done through Google. The keyword search guide is going to help you build your list, your custom list just for you, so that way you can start implementing this in your market right away. Plus, you get the replays of all of this content that we've had, both the VIP and what we're talking about right now, so that way you guys can go back and start to build out a business that's sustainable. Plus the scripts of what to say, the interview with Jeff that we just talked about, and all of this for only $97. So if you guys are interested in that, you still have time, please go to momshouse.com/VIP, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes. You guys ready? Day one, meat and potatoes on this. What is Mom's House? What are we doing here, guys? Mom's House is a lead aggregation company that's built around the senior living industry. What our goal is to be the home trade-in guarantee for senior living. So everyone that moves into senior living, they're most likely living in a house. In fact, about 90% of them are living in a house right now. And it's about 90% of those people own that house outright. That's at $30 trillion in equity that's owned by boomers and their parents. This is a big year right now, guys. I might have been doing this for 12 or 13 years already now. But I was just ahead of the curve. The baby boomers, the oldest boomers, are just starting to move into senior living this year. And for the next 15 years, the numbers are pointed straight up. So guys, if you want to sink your teeth into something that's sustainable and growing, this is it. It's not meant to be threatening, but if you don't take this seriously, you're going to be buying houses from someone else that did. It's because that is where the inventory is going to come from. We always say, where is the inventory? Today, we're going to learn about it. I'm going to show you exactly where the inventory is and how to get it. So guys, if that's interesting or exciting, then you're in the right place. What do we do for senior living? How do we serve them? We give families more time with their loved ones by alleviating the stress when a senior transitions into care. Yes, it's stressful to move into care. Yes, mom just fell down. Yes, mom had to have a surgery. Yes, the place we picked out is $8,000 a month. Yes, we don't know where that money is going to come from. Yes, we don't want to do the things that maybe the real estate agent asked, which is to fix the place up to get top dollar. Now what? Right? That's where Mom's House comes in and makes this situation easy on the family. And guys, when it's presented the right way, they want it. They want it. They need it. That's what they're looking for. In a time when everything's going wrong, Mom's House makes this one thing go right, which alleviates the stress on that family. What do we do for real estate investors? Guys, we teach real estate professionals how to build a referral-based business, a reoccurring referral-based business by creating relationships in senior living. So guys, that's what we're going to teach you how to do. You're going to be able to do this without having to text message blast or spend any money on marketing. When you know the right way to do this, these leads are free. So guys, what do you guys expect to learn from this next 2 days? I hope it's this. I hope it's how to generate the best leads in real estate, how to wholesale those deals with no money or no credit. Just like the late night infomercial said, you can make money in real estate without cash or credit. That is a true statement. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can be wholesale back to us with no cash and no credit. I'll show you how to change your identity. How many in the chat right now say, I'm a wholesaler? You guys identify as a wholesaler? We're going to show you how to change that identity, guys. Wholesaling is one disposition strategy in real estate. It's not an identity. And it's even if you claim that I'm a wholesaler, that's not the identity that you want, because basically you're saying to the world, I'm a middleman. Now, nobody wants to be the middleman. And so, or nobody wants to be mid-old. And so we're going to teach you guys how to change your identity, not as a wholesaler, but as a senior transition specialist, which is all encompassing around all the needs that families have when they're moving into senior living. And it's something you can be proud of. It's something to say, I help seniors in their time of need. The byproduct of that is I get to buy a lot of houses. And doing this, guys, you get to build something sustainable. We always use the analogy of Bob. Bob's in senior living. He's an executive director. And when you have Bob on your team and he brings you 3 deals a year, and the average profit is 15 grand a deal. Let's just say it's 15 grand a deal. Maybe somebody in the chat can better at math than me. If you get 3 deals a year from Bob, and each one of the deals on average makes you 15 grand a year, how much is Bob's relationship worth to you? Maybe somebody can put it in the chat for me. If you get 3 deals a year and it's 15 grand a piece, how much is Bob's relationship worth to you? 45 grand, right? Now, what's great about Bob is that he's going to stay in senior living for the next 20 years. And so let's just say for the next 10 years, you get 3 deals a year from Bob every year for the next 10 years. How much is Bob's relationship worth to you? Can somebody do the math for me? If you get it for the next 10 years, Monty, you said 45 is for 1 year. So for 10 years, pretty simple math, right? Almost $500,000. So guys, if you know that Bob is worth $500,000 to you over the next 10 years, how serious would you take building the relationship with Bob? Would you try to rush it? Thank you. Thank you, Joe. If Bob is worth 450 to you, now you guys see why I say 20 is plenty? If you just have 20 Bobs that are bringing you business, how you have more than enough? Some of you might say, I only need Bob, right? That's the point about this. That's how powerful these sustainable relationships are. Could this be your calling? You know, you heard Jillian say that for her family, this was their calling. This has been my calling for a long time. To become a senior transition specialist is an identity of love. And guys, we don't put up with anything less than that. If you are a selfish person and don't want to help seniors, you cannot be part of Mom's House. Your job is to help the senior living industry, the people in it with their day jobs. So guys, an executive director, we're going to go over a bunch of different job titles today. You get to help that person with their job, make their job easier on them and the families that they serve. That's what we do for a living. We help the senior living industry with their day job, and you can become their tool that they use daily to make their lives better, because everybody cares about what's in it for them, just like you, and so do they. You get to help daughter Judy and the senior themselves in one of the hardest times of their lives, bringing the family more solutions, which takes the weight from their shoulders. I see it all the time. I see daughter Judy. I see the big deep breath. That's something in this hard time. I was going to say tragic. It's not really. It's just life, how life works. In this hard time, we get to take the weight from their shoulders and make this one thing go easy on them. Guys, if you want to just bring the deals directly to us, we're going to talk about that as well today. Our team, our community, nationwide, you can bring those right back to our community, and we want to do those deals with you. So really what I need you to do is go out and build the relationships, and when the families have a house to sell, bring it back to our community, and we can partner with you guys on those deals. I want to simplify this. I want to take away the stigma of not knowing what to do with the house. We know very well what to do with the house. I've been over 1,000 transactions in real estate. You're going to meet David, my coach. He's done over 1,000 transactions. We have a few thousand transactions under our belt, plus a whole community of people that have done thousands and thousands more. Guys, we want to be collaborative in this space. It's really fun to work together, exciting to work together. And we're going to talk about that we have leads in our system that we need you guys to help us with, and then we can work together on those as well. So if that's what you are thinking that this could be your calling, then you're definitely in the right place. Let's keep going. So guys, what we're going to do, guys, is to teach you how to make money, not a year from now, but how to start making money tomorrow. Would that be exciting if you could implement this right away? We're going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. But guys, here's what you have to write down for me. You have to make the commitment to doing it. I can set you up all the way around about what to say, where to be, what to do, but you have to go out and do it. The thing I can't do is go out and build these relationships for you. And so you have to make that commitment to doing that. I'm going to give you all the tools to be successful at it. And my commitment to you is I'm going to give it to you straight. I have a blunt personality, a bold personality. So it's not in my best interest to kid you about things. I want to give you to you straight and say, this is not going to be a fluff session today. I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do, and you can either listen to it or not. But to implement this, I'm going to give you actionable steps that you can go out and build in your market. So guys, here it is. We're just a few minutes into today, and this is it. Point A to point B. How do we get from where we are today to where I want you to be? These are the 9 things that we're going to go over the next 2 days. And so we're going to map the market. We're going to understand what senior living is and how big the opportunity is. I'm going to teach you who and how to network or navigate the networking that happens in senior living. You guys ever hear like the red car syndrome, where if I say red car, when you drive home today, you're going to see a red car. And that's just because it's in your conscious. And so senior living networking is happening right now all around us. It's hiding in plain sight. You just haven't even looked for the red car. You haven't looked for the networking in senior living yet. And that's what I'm teaching you guys how to do. This is happening right now. And so I'm going to teach you how to navigate the networking. I'm going to show you how to build meaningful relationships. I always say in the world of relationships, there's one-night stands and there's 50-year marriages. We are in the 50-year marriage business. We want to build something meaningful, long-lasting, and sustainable. I'm going to teach you how to master the ask. In fact, on your first interaction with people, I'm going to teach you how to ask for the business right away. This is not, let's build a relationship for a year and then hope for business. That's not how I would do it. It's not how I'm going to teach you how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to ask for the business, mastering that. So when it's the right time, that it comes organically. In fact, if you do it right, a lot of times they ask you for the business when you're doing the right networking and volunteering. I'm going to teach you how to be positioned for success. What does that mean? Well, guys, a lot of people, when I talk about a lead source, they're like, Phil, this sounds great, but oh my God, what happens if somebody actually brings me a deal? I don't know how to buy a house. I've never bought a house yet. Or even in real estate agents, guys, a lot of you real estate agents have listed properties, but have you ever bought an actual investment property yet? That might seem overwhelming. But to a guy like me that's done it 1,000 times, that's second nature. So we always in the brain make things, or I gloss over things that come easy to me, but I don't want to do that today. I want to say to you guys, if you haven't done a deal yet, great. David and I, the Mom's House Coach, we take great pride in getting people from 0 to 1, bringing those deals back to our community, because once you do one, now you don't have a self-limiting belief anymore that you can't do it, and you'll understand that real estate can be your future. We're going to teach you how to have win-win negotiations. My job is to see how much I can pay for the house. Write that down. I try to see how much I can pay for the house. A lot of you might be thinking, I'm going to try to see how little I can pay for a house. That's not how you're successful at this business. So in win-win negotiations, I'm trying to pay as much as I can and still have a profitable business. So how do you do that? You have to be cocksure of your numbers. You better know your numbers inside and out. And I look at real estate as hyper-local. So we have tools to position you for success so you can have win-win negotiations so that way you can have a sustainable business. Guys, you can help seniors and still have a profitable business. Those two things can go together if you do it the right way. Number 7, deciphering the disposition strategies that work today. There's a ton of ways to dispose of a house today. There's a ton of ways to buy a house today. Everyone talking about creative financing and Airbnbs and all these things. That's great. You can do all those things once you get a lead. But we're talking about actual lead aggregation. People skip over, you can have a rehab of a house, but you still need the house to rehab, right? This is acquisition. Mom's House is a lead aggregator in the acquisition side. We're going to talk about tomorrow, actually, deciphering what disposition strategies are working today. So that way you can know what is working so you don't do something that's outside of your vision. I'll give you a good example. A lot of people getting started, for some reason, they'd rather buy a $10,000 house that needs 90 grand worth of work versus what they should be doing is trying to find a $90,000 house that needs 10 grand worth of work. And so those disposition strategies and really understanding your vision that you have for your life, that's where our community comes in to help you make the right decisions out of the gate. Because if you go into a situation and you lose a bunch of money in your first real estate deal, you're never going to do another real estate deal. And I think having the mentorship and the hand-holding of a community that's all on the same mission to help each other, that is a very powerful thing. And so things like the deal financing mastery, a lot of people have this self-limiting belief that no one's going to give you money for a deal. Guys, and I'm here to tell you there's so much money on the sidelines, it doesn't know what to do with itself. It's looking for deals every single day, but that's the point. It's looking for a deal. And so once you have a deal, getting those deals funded, we have nationwide funding, we can help you with those things when there's a deal. And so that's the exciting part is we are talking about creating real estate deals, lead flow, deal flow coming through our system, and we have deal financing for those deals that fit that criteria. And when you have all this put together, guys, then you get to number 9, when you can close with confidence. What's closing mean? Closing day for me is a paycheck, right? The whole point of this is to get to making a living from real estate when you close with confidence. What does that mean? All the pieces are in place. You know the buyer is going to be there. You know the seller is going to be there, whether you're wholesaling it, whether you're keeping it as a rental, whether you're going to tear it down and build a new house, whether you're going to do an Airbnb, whatever you're going to do with it, with the house, when you close with confidence that you're making a good deal. Jillian talked about that first deal. She springboarded. Is that the way you say it? Springboarded her into the second deal and the third deal. Like if you do real estate right, you can, your life can get better very, very quickly because there's so much money in real estate. And we're looking for deals. Guys, as real estate people, aren't we all looking for deals that we can add value to? Of course we are. If every house was retail ready, we would not even be on this this challenge on finding the best leads because we're looking for houses that we can add value to, right? And so, guys, put this all together over these next 2 days. These are the 9 steps that I'm going to give you and show you so that way you have actionable steps to go out and do this in your business. Let's keep going. There's 10 characteristics of a mom's house lead. We've done things like the Pepsi challenge. I know I'm dating myself there, but things like the Pepsi challenge. I always say, if you have a better lead source than these 10 things, let me know about it, because I want to do it in my own market, because I am an active real estate investor. So here it is, guys. The 10 characteristics of a mom's house lead is that they are motivated. I don't have to convince them of motivation at all. They are already being told by a doctor that they have to move into senior living. You guys think it makes a difference if someone else is telling them that they have to move? A lot of people, when you do direct mail and things, you're waiting for someone to raise their hand and say, I'll move for the right price. And that's not really motivation. But when somebody has to move to pay for care, and they have outside factors like family and doctors, that is a very powerful motivation. I didn't put that motivation on them. They already had it when they got to me. Number 2 is super powerful. They have equity, guys. 90% of the time, they own it outright. What's happening in that other 10% is they usually have a small second, or maybe what's called a reverse mortgage. I want to be clear here, guys. A reverse mortgage is no different than a regular mortgage. The first question you ask is, how much do you owe on your reverse mortgage or your regular mortgage? If they have equity, that's houses where we can buy. And so 90% of the time they own it outright. So you already know that that doesn't come up nearly as much as people make it out to be. These are the people that have the equity. They've owned their house forever. For decades, they've owned it outright. And now they need to unlock that equity for care. Number 3, they have a house that we can add value to. What do I mean by that? Even if mom's house is clean, it's usually what I call lovingly grandma clean. Like, mom got her new roof in 2017 after the hailstorm. She got the new hot water heater when it broke, but the kitchen or the paneling or the carpeting, or there's too much stuff or something's broken. There's always things that are not up to 2024 standards that today's buyer are going to expect. And guys, right now, I don't know if you know it, but with the way the market is right now, the houses that are selling super fast are the ones that are updated, and the ones that are dated are the ones that are sitting longer. So as investors, are we not looking for houses that we can add value to? Of course we are. If every house was retail ready, they wouldn't need us. Number 4, less competition. If you did pay-per-click marketing today in your market, for all your troubles and all your money of having Google as a partner, you get to now compete with everyone else in your market that's also doing pay-per-click marketing. And so what's exciting about that is nothing. You get to spend $10,000 a month to compete with everyone else that's a serious investor. Why would you want to do that? With what we do here at Mom's House, we have way less competition. In fact, when these families are given to me or referred to me, I usually compete against no one, or maybe against another real estate agent trying to get a listing. And so we're going to show you today how my value proposition is quite different than that. And so do you want to fish in a pond with less people fishing? This is way less competition. Number 5, we talked about that a second ago, that warm transfer of trust. Guys, you can be halfway incompetent and buy a lot of houses when there's a warm transfer of trust. When my elder care attorney says, call Philip, he's the most trusted guy in town, that has a lot of meaning. Guys, it puts, we don't have to build trust as much when it's coming from someone that they are already getting valuable information from. And so when we start going over who these people are, it's going to make sense that when those people refer to me, that it makes it very powerful. In fact, it's the best lead, the highest converting lead in really any business, not just real estate, is warm referrals. Number 6 is, if the first 5 things weren't good enough already, the 6th one is super powerful here. These leads are free. The best leads in real estate are free. And so I know a lot of you are thinking, how much money do I need for my marketing budget? Well, I'm telling you right now, these leads are free. It's about going out and building relationships with your time. And that is how this is generated. Number 7, these are reoccurring. Remember the analogy of Bob, guys. If Bob is worth, what did we say, 450 grand to you, how many Bobs do you want? And that's why I say that 20 is plenty of people that know, like, and trust you. And you can't walk in tomorrow and be trusted. But with our training, we're going to show you exactly how to get to know, like, and trust as quickly as possible. So that way they can be using you as a tool in their business to make their life easier and better, because everybody cares about what's in it for them. Number 8 is fulfillment. Guys, have you ever been on any of these real estate things and heard the word fulfillment? I don't hear it too often. In fact, if it's a bandit sign or foreclosure deal, I don't hear the word fulfillment at all. It is fulfilling to work with seniors and their families in one of the hardest times of their lives. I see the weight come off of their shoulders. I think what's the American dream is I get to help a lot of people and make a lot of money. And to me, that is a life worth living. That is fulfilling. And so this is very fulfilling work. We're not too far away from Thanksgiving, and you're going to be talking about what you do for a living. Saying I'm a wholesaler sounds way different than I get to help seniors in one of the hardest times of their lives, and here's how I do it. So this is fulfilling to have that identity as a senior transition specialist. Number 9, not only is it recession proof, it's a pandemic proof. It's been proven that this works in any economy. People need care no matter what the real estate market's doing, no matter who the president is, no matter what's going on, no matter what the interest rates are. These families need to sell their house to trade that equity for care. And so that is exciting because it is sustainable. Number 10 is the market size. It is gigantic. You guys ready for some numbers? I can't wait to share them with you about this market. It is gigantic. So here it is, guys. We have the Senior Transition Specialist training. It's about 33% of this. Your effort to go out and build these relationships is about 33% of this. Can you go out and build these relationships with our training? And then can you bring that deal back to our community so we can get it closed and split the profits with you? That is what we're looking for. People that want or are excited about doing their share, their effort with the training and with our community, so that way we can do more deals together. That is what we're looking for. So guys, here we are, Halloween. We're going to have our kids are going to have way too much candy tonight. So I have a real question for you. Can you guys put in the chat, what is your favorite candy? I know for me, I like to have a good Reese's peanut butter cup. But what candy do I like the most? Or what does it seem to be that I like the most? Guys, go ahead and put in the chat. What is your favorite candy? Ron likes the M&Ms. Joe likes the Reese's like me. Candy corn. Veronica. I didn't think I'd see anybody say candy corn today. That's a unique one. Heath bar. Oh, yeah, Heaths are good. Have you ever had a Skor? S-K-O-R? Those are really good. Your favorite candy, guys. Here's mine. I really like Oreos. And sometimes I have a sleeve or two. Don't tell my wife that. But, these Oreos, they're a perfect cookie candy. They're amazing. I love a good Oreo. And so I want to show you guys this because this is kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for the cream today. That 33% of my training here, of everything that I did wrong, I'm giving you all this training. We have very extensive training about how to get into senior living using my scripts, my knowledge, my funding. That's what we're going to teach you how to do. I need you to go out and network. I need you to go out and hang out with the right people. And I'll show you exactly what to say. And then you can bring those deals to us as a community, guys. So that's that cream in the middle. I want you guys to be that middle part. Then when you get the deal or get a seller, you bring it back to us. We help you comp it. What's comp means? What is its comparable values? What is its ARV or after repair value? We can wholesale it. We can split the profits. And guys, if you already know what to do with houses, you don't have to do this. But for anyone that's looking to get into this business, this is a really smart way to break into real estate, knowing that you're going to have success at it because we're going to hold your hand through the whole entire process. And so what I'm looking for is right there, the cream in the middle. Can you do the work to be the cream? I want you to use our training in our community to be the cookies, but can you be the cream? That is what we're looking for to become these senior transition specialists. So here's the reality, guys. 95% of people in our country can't afford senior living. In fact, out of a Social Security Administration says out of 100 people over the age of 65, 54% are broke and they rely on family or government. 36% have already passed away. 5% are working with no choice. And then you've got the 4% that are financially secure and 1% that are wealthy. So if you're wondering if they need to sell mom's house, guys, 95% of them do, because only 5% of them are creating a life of freedom. So what we need to do is acknowledge that 95% of our society will never create the life that they wanted because they're relying on others. So guys, how do we rise above the mediocrity and join that top 5%? Is by taking action, by getting into things like real estate, by implementing things like real estate to build a business that comes to you. So I want to just say congratulations to everyone for being here, guys. You guys are action takers. You're spending this Tuesday with us right now. You're spending your most valuable asset you have is your time. And I want to reward you guys for that by showing you something that can really be life-changing. But what we have to do is commit to thinking and living differently than most people do. If we don't want to struggle, we must figure out what the 95% did wrong, or we can say it a different way, what they didn't do right. So how do we do that? It's by building a life by design. And so how do we design the life that we want? Well, the first thing we need to do is get away from that self-limiting belief smear. I always say all the time, is that true or is that a self-limiting belief? A lot of times we say, I can't do that. I don't deserve that. In fact, maybe somebody, when you said you're going to be on this Mom's House thing, they looked at you and said, hey, I thought you were trying to be in real estate. What do you mean senior living? You might have people that try to bring you down saying, you're all over the place. I thought you were trying to do the real estate thing, but now you're talking about senior living. Those self-limiting, those people that can bring you down, you have to get away from that. And sometimes our biggest critics are looking at us right in our own mirror, that self-limiting belief mirror. And so your true potential right now, guys, is in the present. I want you guys to be able to move beyond your past and into the future. And I think when we're done over these next 2 days, it's going to be so obvious. You're going to look at this and go, it makes all the sense in the world. How do I make this my mission? How do you move beyond your past? In the chat, guys, are you guys, thinking about the senior living thing is like, oh man, this is way outside of my scope? Or do you guys kind of see, maybe put in the questions there in the chat, do you guys see the correlation between people moving into senior living and those that have a house that they need to sell? Because if I haven't explained it well enough, I'm trying to tell you that this is where the best real estate leads come from, and it will be this way for the next 15 to 20 years. So how do we get good at this? How do we build these relationships? It's by surrounding ourselves with people that are on the same mission. Here at Mom's House, we have the Senior Transition Specialist Network that are out doing this every day, building these relationships. Our mission is to help 30,000 families per month. And guys, I've been at this for 3 years, and we had been a few hundred leads, a few thousand leads, and now we're to the point where we have around 30,000 families that are looking for senior living coming through our system every single month, and we need more help. That's why we're here today, is to find people that want to work with us on our mission to help these daughter Judys and the seniors, their families, looking in real time for senior living. That's the flashpoint of when they need to sell their house. So you're going to be here with me for the next 2 days. You have these ideas in life that we wanted to get to things someday. The someday list, we all have it. And you ever notice that the months turn into years? And here's what I want to share with you guys right now. The red star is the year I'm going to die. I'm 45 years old, so I've lived all those black squares already. And the year I'm going to die on average is at 78 years old for a male in the United States. And I'm a bigger guy, so my number might even be lower than that. And so when you look at life and saying, I've already lived those years and I only have those white boxes left till I get to that star, you realize very quickly that life is short. And senior living has taught me two things. It's that don't get old, and if you do, be rich. And I don't mean that jokingly. I mean that seriously. Like, don't get old. You can do everything you can do to keep your health, your mobility. And of course, age is coming for all of us. We'll pass away. But when you get to the later stages in life, you want to be one of those 5% that have the ability to take care of yourself and your family and not be one of the 95% that can't. And so how do we do that, guys? Why the someday mindset is because when we're young, we think we have all the time in the world. We don't have a sense of urgency to get moving. And this is what leads people to that mediocre life instead of the level 10 life that they want to build. And so, guys, in the chat, are you where you thought you would be at this point in life? And you don't have to answer in the chat. You can just ask this rhetorically to yourself. Are you where you thought you would be at this point in life? And so for a lot of us, especially people who are already in real estate, the real estate market is changing very drastically. I just saw a report this morning that RE/MAX is getting out of the National Association of Realtors. Oh my gosh, you would have told me that 5 years ago. I said, no way. And it's happening right now. Being in real estate is changing. Things like Mom's House are becoming bigger and bigger. So I want to congratulate you guys on being here. Spending your most valuable asset that you have with me is your time. So why not you? The most extraordinary life is available for you. You just have to go out there and develop yourself into the person that you want to be. And so over this next 2 days, guys, we don't allow negativity here. That's not our jam. We don't put up with that because you need to have the right attitude to helping seniors first. That is number one, guys. How can I help seniors? And then very quickly after that is what are they going to do with their house and what are they going to do with their stuff? That's where we come in. But the people you're going to see and hear about, guys, are extraordinary people. Our students that are having success with this, they're extraordinary people. They work hard. They care about their families and themselves, and they earn these results I'm going to share with you today by being intentional about the life that they wanted. And guys, if you're not intentional about that, I can't help you, or this program can't help you. But if you do want to grow with Mom's House, in the next 2 hours, I'm going to show you exactly how to make a six-figure income with just your laptop, your cell phone, and by hanging out with the right people, helping them with their day job. I'm going to show you how to partner with the community so that way you can do deals. You don't have to have good credit or even credit at all or needing a bunch of cash to do these deals. And I'm going to show you how to be that cream, guys, how to do a third of the work. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to set it up, and then we take it down. And if guys, Joe Vitale says it best, a goal should scare you a little bit and excite you a lot. And I live my life by that. I had even this morning before we got on here today, that little tingle of I get to share this with hundreds and hundreds of people. And I love it because I'm in the right place, guys. I love how big Mom's House is growing. Getting to help those 30,000 families a month is a giant goal, but it excites me a lot. I'm very giddy to come to work every day. I always say a good litmus test on if you have a good life or not is, are you happy on Sunday night? If you're mad that it's Sunday night because you have to go back to the grind or back to work, then that means you don't have a life that is fulfilling. You should have a life where it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, you're excited to be a part of a business that you like. And becoming a senior transition specialist is bigger than just being a real estate person, but it's an identity of good. So guys, can you use my training, my scripts, my knowledge, my funding, and you go out and do the networking? I'll show you who the people are, where they're at, show you exactly who to be to become a tool for them. And then can you bring those deals back to us where we can help you comp the property? We'll wholesale it to our, in fact, we have 4.5 million investors in our buying network that we can wholesale to. We split the profits. And if you already know what to do with them, guys, you can keep them. It's up to you. These are your deals. But for those getting started, we want you to be the cream. So what do I like to do on my weekends or my off time is I like to have fun, go out, things like riding razors. That's my buddy Scott. We're trying to jump 100 feet because, you know, we're men. We always like to measure everything. And so we didn't make it 100 feet. We actually only made it 98 feet, but we sure had fun trying to get to 100. That's what I like to do. But this is my natural state. As I'm Philip, I'm a home buyer. That's what I do. And I stumbled into senior living because I kept being curious and asking questions about where these deals come from. And what it's led me to do is do a couple hundred deals over the past few years from this source. Look at my average profit there. It's over $20,000. And I'm in a mid-sized market. So if you're in a high-end market, your average could be even more than $20,000. That's just my average here in St. Louis. There's my mom and dad, Ron and Shirley. They were just in town from Florida this past week, so I got to hang out with them. There's my mom. And so while they're only in their mid-60s right now, I know one day I'm going to have to help them through this transition of moving into senior living. It's going to be hard. Even with all my training, it's not going to make it easier on me. I'm just going to know what to do a little bit better. It's still going to be emotionally hard to do. And so this is my favorite picture of my parents. They kind of seem like hippies here. They're definitely not, but they seem like hippies. They love to ride their motorcycle even to this day. My dad's got a Goldwing in the garage. And so they've been married almost 50 years, right? So I've got this great example of a good marriage in front of me, and my parents, I'd do anything for them. In fact, they're getting ready to sell their house and buy a different house. And so mom's house is a topic that we can all relate to, right? We all got to this planet from our mothers. And a lot of times they live in real estate. And if you're going through this or have already gone through this, you know how real this is. There she is today at the Mom's House offices. Here at Mom's House, we help seniors eliminate the stress of selling a home. How we got our start and what I started to notice way back in the early 2010s was that every house I bought had cross stitch in it. And it was because of the seller, who the seller was. So guys, here's the question for the chat. Who wants to help a lot and make a lot of money? Guys, put in the chat a 1 if that's you. If you're a 1, if you want to help a lot of people and make a lot of money, let us know. Put 1 in the chat for us right now. These 9 steps, guys, that we're going to go over the next 2 days is going to show you exactly how to do this in your market. So why become a senior transition specialist? What does it make sense? Well, there's 9 irrefutable facts. Is that creating wealth through real estate, guys, is the number 1 way to do this. If you're going to be in real estate, you're going to have to generate leads, and having a thriving real estate business you're going to have to be good at lead generation. The referral-based business that we're talking about here is based on referrals that have the highest close rates. So for me, I'd rather work with the highest close rates than I would to waste a lot of money with people that don't want my service. The average age of our sellers is over 80 years old. There's a significant wave. In fact, it's called the silver tsunami that need to sell their home to unlock that equity for care. They're going to need to sell that house to pay for care. Because remember, only 5% have the money sitting in the bank to pay the on average $6,000 a month for care. And so 95% are going to need to sell that house to pay for care. We're going to find out over the next 2 days that a real estate agent may not always be the optimal choice for the families looking to sell. And we're going to see that trying to find directly to daughter Judy is often proving challenging because they might live a few hundred miles away from their parents. And so we're going to show you how we've cracked the code for finding daughter Judy. It's really exciting. I've been working on this for 3 years, and I'm excited to show you what we've created and done to have this many families coming through our system. Number 8 is building relationships. We all know it's more effective to collaborate with individuals and services that already have contact with the family. In fact, everyone in that 20 is 20 list is someone that already has contact or is in conversations with those family members about really hard subjects, like money, like care. And those people are the referring people back to us. Those are the best lead sources. And then number 9, help and profit. Assisting the family and making a substantial profit are not mutually exclusive, right? This is what's great about our business. We can make a great living and help seniors. In fact, like I said, my job is to try to see how much I can pay for the house and still be profitable. So let's map the market, guys. Let's take a look at the market today. Is this a live picture of your current marketing budget? For a lot of people that got into real estate, they've tried a few things. Have you guys tried direct mail? Go ahead and put it in the chat. You've tried direct mail. Yes? Could you put a yes in the chat for me? Have you tried pay-per-click? Have you tried bandit signs? I feel like a lot of times with marketing efforts out there, it feels like the blind leading the blind. And so, if the average cost to acquire a deal is $3,500, but yet the average profit is $18,000, I think almost everyone out here today would say, I would pay $3,500 to get one average deal that makes me $18,000. So where is the problem, right? If it costs $3,500 in average spend to get a real estate deal done, if you're doing direct response marketing and the average profit's $18,000, why are we not all rich? What's happening, guys? Where is the breakdown here? And it's because you have to have the stomach to continue to do the marketing. I'm not saying that you can't do direct mail or you can't do pay-per-click or you can't do billboards or TV or radio or whatever these things might be. You can do anything as long as you stick to it. And so a lot of people don't have the money or the systems in place, the business in place to actually go out and spend, $5,000-$10,000 a month on marketing. And I've tried it all, guys. I was doing Driving for Dollars 20 years ago before all the apps came out. I was the guy that had the sign on the back of my car. In fact, I had that sign on the back of my car for 8 years, and I got 0 deals from that. So if I was waiting for deals to come because I had a bandit sign on wheels, I would have been broke. In fact, the only thing it did is every time I'd cut somebody off in traffic, I'd get a phone call immediately getting thoroughly talked to about my driving habits. And so that wasn't the key, right? There's my son, Sterling. He's 11 now. So look at this. He was a baby, my baby bandit. I've done it all. I've done the bandit signs. I don't do them anymore, but I've tried it all. And so, here's my buddy Brad and Jason. This was at 3 a.m. We had a fresh shipment of bandit signs coming in. We were at 3 a.m. getting ready to put those out. Guys, do you know why you put bandit signs out at 3 a.m? Anybody want to put in the chat why? You're trying not to get caught by the police. And so is that really what you want to do with your life? I was sending 6,000 letters a week. This is probably about 2015, 2016. 6,000 letters a week trying to get my phone to ring. In fact, when they'd say we could pull up at the post office, they'd say, go get the card. Here comes Vincent. He's got all those letters he's sending out, because I would have them drop shipped to me, but then I would have them put through the local post office, so they'd have the local stamp on them, not the bulk stamp when they come from mail houses. Little nuances like that, right, guys? I've done it. I've spent $20,000, $30,000 a month on marketing. A lot of people don't have the stomach to stay at it, to keep spending that money, that $3,500 on average. And so when you do things like direct mail, not everybody likes it. Like Donald here, he says he's requesting that I stop sending him offers to buy his property. As a matter of policy regarding property, he only deals with established and reputable real estate companies. Now, obviously, I am established and reputable, but he didn't like that I sent him direct mail. Then you guys got people like Lord Soul here. He said, Philip Vincent, if you have no money to offer me or any kind of payments for any of my properties, if you continue to be a subterranean parasite, he's going to speak to Don Leone about my insignificant offers. Now, first of all, I think Lord Soul is probably pretty hilarious that he took the time to actually send this to me. I don't know who Don Leone is. He sounds like he might be in the mob, but I've never been called a subterranean parasite before. But even when you do something as mundane as direct mail, not everyone likes it that you do it. And this is one of the better ones. We talked about it earlier, guys, that a lot of us feel like we're in the Me Too marketing. We're doing everything else that everyone else is doing. This guy with Bandit Signs is literally doing Me Too marketing. He says, we buy houses. He says, Me Too, which I think, once again, is funny, but is he getting the results, or is she getting the results that she thought she would from these signs? So how do we stand out in this crowded field? We get so excited to get into this business. Sometimes we miss a few steps. What did they miss on this one, guys? Do you think they were sitting there at home? You think they were sitting there at home that day and they were like, honey, we're going to be rich before you know it. We put out all the Bandit signs. Our phone's going to start ringing any minute now. That's the point. You need a structure and a system of proven success to do this, guys. This lady sent me a stop sign with bullet holes in it. Do you think there's anything Freudian about that? She did not like it that I sent her direct mail. I spent $25,000 on a coupon mailer one time, guys. Not only did I not get any deals bought from this, I also didn't even receive a phone call. Could you imagine spending 25 grand of your hard-earned money and not even getting a phone call? It's pretty desperate feeling. It's a stinky feeling. I don't like it. And so I knew I needed to build something sustainable. So I say all the time, guys, don't cling to a mistake just because you spent a lot of time making it. So my point to this, guys, if you have a marketing strategy that's working, don't turn it off. But if you're here today because you're looking for a marketing strategy that can be sustainable and feed you for the next 10, 15, 20 years, and you're ready to make a change because the old ways that even worked in the past aren't working anymore, things change, guys. Things change. Like my buddy Damon, we have 3 or 4 friends that have been sued over doing text message blasting. So if you're still in the text message blasting business, you better get out because they're going after you. Like, it's not a sustainable business. Guys, I'm going to teach you a lot of things, over these next couple of days. If I can marry this beautiful lady, Melissa, I can teach you guys how to build relationships, right? I've been doing this a long time. I was one of the first people that did the picture of the house on the front of the mailer. I think that was back in 2016. It scared a lot of people that I had a picture of their home. It was a Google image from Google Street View, but I've tried it all. And so if you have to ask yourselves is, what are 10 years, really more 12 or 13 years of your life worth? I paid my dues in senior living, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. I'm very serious about this. I do have fun, but I'm very serious about what it took for me to get here right now to share with you guys how to do this the right way. And I want to share with you guys what a typical lead that I get today, what it sounds like. Are you guys interested in that? Let me play this for you.
Hi, Philip. My name is Chris Gardner, and I'm calling on behalf of my mom, Michelle, and my grandparents, Bob and Patricia Evans. They are getting ready to, my grandparents getting ready to go into a nursing home. And my mom has been in touch with Carmen at Transitions, I believe, and she suggested that we call you and to try and figure out what to do with their house in terms of trying to get it quickly done, getting rid of it, that is. So I'm trying to help my mom out with the workload in terms of what she's doing, calling nursing homes, dealing with transitions, and some veteran stuff as well. So I wanted to reach out so I could help my mother out in terms of finding out what we need to do to get something done with the house. So if you could give me a call back on my.
So guys, when you hear stuff like that, when you hear that kind of stuff, you think to yourself, well, first of all, do you think that guy thinks I'm a subterranean parasite? Obviously not. He was referred to me from one of my lead sources, a replacement agent. And who was he in the equation, guys? Maybe in the chat put for me, who was he in the equation? Was he daughter Judy in the equation? And he is actually the grandson of his grandmother moving into senior living. And what a good son he was. He saw that his own mother was stressed. She was stressed with helping his grandmother, or his mom's mom, move into senior living. And as a good son, he said, Mom, let me take this one thing off your plate. Let me see if I can't get this Philip guy to come out and give us an offer on the house. Let me take care of the house because I know you're overwhelmed with trying to figure out where will mom get the best care. And so when you work, guys, I'll write this down. I asked you before, but when you start working with people that want your service versus trying to go out and make it happen with like direct response marketing, your life will change. When people come chasing to you, that's when your life will change. And so when we look at we don't have time to go into the entire the best leads bingo here, but when you look at the average cost for direct mail, pay-per-click, text message blasting, Bandit signs, cold calling, TV, radio, the average cost is about $3,500. Some of those are higher, some are a little bit lower, but that's the average cost. But with Mom's House, it's free. Each deal that you build a relationship with, when the deal comes directly to you, those leads are free. And so this is the winner, right? Is it time consuming to do all these different things? Well, people say, well, I hire someone else to do it. Well, then if you're hiring someone else to do the time consuming part, that just means it's expensive, right? And so with Mom's House, I need about 3 to 5 hours a week to build these relationships the right way. 3 to 5 hours a week, 5 hours to freedom, we always say. And so to do that, would you spend that 5 hours doing those activities if you knew you were going to have success? And so when you think about things like a competition, direct mail, pay-per-click, text message blasting, bandit signs, all these have high competition. But with Mom's House, we're still fishing in a pond where no one's at. High equity. Almost all of these, the answer is that sometimes they have equity, sometimes they do, sometimes maybe. But with Mom's House, 90% of the time they own the house outright. That's exciting. I'm in a world where they have equity, which helps me buy their house a lot simpler. Are they motivated? Guys, if you do direct mail, can you answer for me in the chat? Is everyone you talk to with direct mail motivated? The answer is, of course not. The answer is sometimes and maybe, but the motivation with people moving into senior living is there. It is real. How about skeezy factor? You guys know what skeezy factor is? Like the used car salesman. Is it skeezy to do text message blasting, which is basically spam? Is it skeezy to do cold calling, which is basically spam? Is it skeezy to do things like bandit signs? Guys, the name bandit is in the name of the thing. It's calling you a bandit. Of course, those things are skeezy. Now, I don't think direct mail, even though Lord Soul thinks it's not good, he called me a subterranean parasite. I don't think direct mail or pay-per-click is, or even TV or billboards, but you have to be able to afford to do all those things. And so is it skeezy to help seniors? Of course not. This should be something you're excited about, that this is something you've been waiting for, to say, Philip, I've been waiting for something because I didn't want to do all these other things we're talking about. There had to be something different, and this is it. So can you build a brand around direct mail? Yes, if you never turn it off. Can you build a brand with pay-per-click? It's really hard to do because your blue line looks like every other blue line on Google, and you don't want to be like, we buy ugly houses, right? That's not your goal either, is to buy ugly houses all the time. In fact, I've had a lot of people say, we didn't even call those people because my mom's house isn't ugly. It just needs a little bit of help, right? And so you have to be careful about the brand you attach to it. If you build a brand with text message blasting or bandit signs or cold calling, all you're going to do is get sued easier because it's hard to, or you shouldn't build a brand around those 3 different ways. TV and radio is actually a good way to build a brand if you can afford to do it. But that usually starts in that $10,000 to $25,000 a month range. And so with Mom's House, we are already a national brand, and we're looking for the right people to work with us. And in all of this, across the board, all these direct response marketing channels work if you never turn them off. But with Mom's House, once you build these relationships, it is a reoccurring lead source, which in my mind, like the analogy of Bob, how much would you pay to have one Bob bring you 45 deals over the next 10 years? Do you have to be a good person to do direct mail? Do you have to be a good person to do pay-per-click advertising or text message blasting or bandit signs or cold calling or TV or radio? The answer is no. But you do have to be a good person to work with Mom's House. And guys, I always say a leopard can't change his spots for very long. And so if you're going to try to fake it till you make it, that's not going to work. The senior living industry will see through it over time. So if you're not going to go in with the right heart condition, don't even start. And I mean that bluntly. A lot of people say, you can just do cold calling, or a lot of people get started with cold calling. But for a guy like me, I didn't want to make 200 cold calls to try to get one appointment. I didn't want to be in the cold calling business, right? Today, we live in a world, guys, where there's a bunch of money, billions and billions of dollars out there trying to change the way people sell their houses. And companies like Zillow, guys, they had $880 million that they lost trying to buy houses at scale. They canceled over 400 contracts. Open Door got fined $62 million for bait and switching people. Say it with me now, everybody. Oh, shift. The shift is happening, guys. They know it's not 2 years ago when the market was drunk, where people were spending $100,000 over asking price with no inspections. That is over. And with the interest rates the way they are, things are continuing to shift. And so you have to ask yourself this about your business right now, guys. Are you overcomplicating what to do? About where to start? How are you going to pay for all this marketing, you might be asking yourselves. I'm here to tell you guys that there is a better way that doesn't have marketing dollars attached to it. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to have the support around you to hit your goals. It's hard as an entrepreneur sometimes to feel like you're on an island. And so sometimes we don't even start when we don't know how we're going to pay for the marketing, or we don't have the support around us to hit our goals. And so we just talked about RE/MAX. They just quit NAR. That's from this past month. That is a major thing, guys. The real estate market is changing. And what does that mean? We're still figuring it out. But the world, the way it is right now, is changing. You're either excited about that and motivated about that, or it makes you not want to get in the business. And so you don't have to be a real estate agent to do what we're doing. So as all that's figuring itself out, that doesn't stop us from what we're doing. Inman just released 2 months ago, buyers are canceling contracts in droves as prices and interest rates soar. It's getting harder and harder to sell a house. And these seniors, when they need to unlock their equity for care, our value proposition versus selling retail goes through the roof. So things change, guys. Nobody's going to argue with that, right? Think about things like Uber. Back in 1998, they said don't get into strangers' cars and don't meet people from the internet. That'd be crazy. But in 2017, we literally summoned strangers from the internet to get into their car. So what seems odd in the past is now becoming more and more normal. The real estate industry is changing, and Mom's House is going to be a big part of that. So, guys, what movie is this from? Can anybody tell me what movie this is from? Who is this character, and what does he have? That's the movie Back to the Future. That's the movie Biff, and he had the sports almanac in his hand. He had the winning results from every sporting event from the year 1950, Mr. Biff, from 1950 to the year 2000. And I'm here to tell you guys, we have the sports almanac. We already know what's getting ready to happen. All of these people, all of these boomers, these seniors and their parents, all this cross stitch, they are the future of real estate. And that's where Mom's House was born. And more. Guys, I've just recently started taking pictures of cross stitch. I wish I would have it for the past 12 plus years. I would have had thousands of these pictures. The silver tsunami is here. And do you want to be a part of it, right? Do you want to help these seniors and their families in this really hard time? Martin Luther King says every crisis has both its dangers and its opportunities, and each can spell either salvation or doom. And that's the thing about a tsunami. It takes out everything in its path. And so these boomers are coming. And so we have a lot of giant decisions that our government has to make, our people have to make. These boomers have all this equity. And guys, we always talk about inheriting the transfer of wealth. I truly don't believe we're going to inherit nearly as much as we think. Why? Our parents are living longer and the cost of care is going through the roof. And so most of that equity is going to be spent on their care and not inherited by us. Over 50% of real estate in the U.S. is owned by baby boomers and their parents outright. House-rich Americans are sitting on nearly $30 trillion in home equity, and it's about 80% of those are actually boomers and their parents that have that. They have the majority of all of that equity sitting right there in their homes. Guys, look at this. Almost 80%, the baby boomers is that top line there. They're the ones that have the ownership of the houses and all the equity. And so that transfer of wealth is not going to come to us. It's going to be spent or sold to people at Mom's House to pay for their care. Yet the Wall Street Journal last week, probably about 2 weeks now, just put out America's biggest landlords can't find houses to buy either. So you guys are on this challenge with me, trying to find houses to buy, yet the big boys can't figure out where to buy houses from. I can't believe they don't understand what's going on here, guys. Senior living is it. The Mom's House is it. We are onto something here. This is huge. They're having trouble finding houses to buy, and I know where they're coming from. It's the senior living industry, which lets me know, everyone that's on here right now, guys, you're in the right place at the right time. And I hope that feels good, because I don't want yet another thing to pass you by. You're here. You've heard about it now. The Wall Street Journal says, okay, boomer, who's going to buy your 21 million homes? I hope you know it's us, guys. That's what we're here for. We're going to put ourselves right in the position to be at the flashpoint of when they raise their hand and say, Philip, I need to sell my house right now to pay for care or pay for my mom and dad's care. We need to sell their house that has all the equity. All the numbers are pointed straight up. Look at this, guys. Between the year 2020 and the year 2030, we're going to go from 54 million to almost 72 million boomers over the age of 65. It's a staggering number. And remember, 70% of those people are going to need to sell their house to pay for care. Look at this number. Between the year 2020 and the year 2050, the age or population of people over the age of 65, it's going to even by the year 2030, it's going to outnumber the kids under 18 for the first time in our nation's history. How many skilled nursing and senior living communities are there nationwide? Just skilled alone has over 16,000 now. There's over 45,000 communities in our nation. There's plenty of pie for everyone. Guys, look at this staggering number. In 1960, look how many people were over the age of 85 in our country, and look at the year 2060. Here we are, and only winding down the year 2023. 2060 is a long way away. This is pointed up for the next few decades. We're going to go from a pyramid to a rectangle in our aging population. Right now, today, over 300,000 people are moving into senior living every single year, and over 2 million people currently live in senior living already. And the feeder to all of this is the in-home healthcare business. About 4.7 million people are using in-home healthcare. These numbers are all growing every single year. There's over 29,000 assisted living communities nationwide. And guys, let me give you the analogy, because you're probably thinking, Phil, I want to do this. I'm in. Let's go. Let's do this. But is there someone already doing this in my market? Oh, no. And I know it's a good question, because I would ask it myself about, hey, am I too late? And the answer is this. I am in the St. Louis market. There's 300 communities in St. Louis market, and I am friendly with about 10 of them. So guys, even in my own market, after 12 years, I could use 29 more Phillips in my own market. So before you ask if you can have the whole state of Texas, the answer is no. It's like asking you want to be the only real estate agent in the whole state of Texas. It's just ludicrous to think that way. It's a good question. I would ask it myself. But the guys, there's so much pie out here that we don't want to have a selfish mentality, but understand that there's an abundance mentality here of there's so many people that we can help. What's driving this is the 10,000 people a day turning 65, the 75-year-olds, there's 12,000 people a day turning 75. And guys, you're going to get into senior living, or you're going to be behind houses from someone else who did. That's not meant to be threatening. It's just to say, guys, we have the sports almanac, but we have Biff's almanac. Would you not make the bets if you knew the outcome? Of course you would. And we already know the results, guys. This is where the deals are going to come from. So when you think about the business that you're building, it's how much time do you have to devote to it? I don't think there's a lot of glory in spending 90 hours a week grinding. People talk about the grind, the hustle, the grind. For me, it's how little hours can I work to have the life that I want, to get to the scale that I want. How much money do I actually need to be and build the life that I want? You'd be surprised how little it is. A lot of people say it's around $10,000 a month. Guys, the average real estate deal makes $18,000 a month. So roughly you could do a deal once a month, every 2 months, and have the life that you want with very little effort. And then, of course, the F word there, not that F word, but fulfillment. This is a fulfilling way to do this business if you can apply yourself the right way. So that's the size of the market. You guys see how giant this opportunity is? There's so much pie for everyone here. There's no reason to be negative about how much opportunity there is. It's more than everyone on this call times 100. And so that's how much opportunity there is in this market size. Okay, let's talking about Networking Navigated. How do we get into this? What's in it for them? This is the radio station that everyone cares about. In the senior living world, there's a bunch of different types of communities. Guys, we like to say the word community and not facility. Facility sounds like a prison. And so you want to move your mother not into a prison, but into a loving community. And so that's one of the things where if we can talk like senior living and understand the nuance of senior living, that is one of the things that we can do to endear ourselves to the industry. So who are the industry stakeholders? Guys, get your pins ready. We're going to be working with people like placement agents. Mom's House has national relationships with 4 of the 5 top placement agency franchises in the nation. And we have relationships built with those already. Those people are like real estate agents for the senior living world. Guys like Jeff, we're going to, in our VIP, if you guys are still interested in that, momshouse.com/VIP. We're going to have a live interview with him tomorrow. And we're going to get to see what it's like to build relationships with people in senior living. Jeff's become a friend of mine. And I always say this too, guys. I don't know the lifetime value of my relationships yet because I'm still doing deals with people that I met back in 2011, 2012, 2013. You know, that Bob analogy is that I'm still doing deals with these people. So my lifetime value, not only my friendships, but also the monetary side is still growing. On the right-hand side, referrals. This is how the leads come to me. Either it's a text or an email that's literally called referral. When you have these relationships and they use me as a tool, they say, hey, I've met with this person and they need somebody to come out and buy their house. They put them on a platter and give them right to me. I talked about those relationships we have with placement agencies. These are the companies that we have relationships with national partnerships to help them unlock their equity for care. There's also a national partnership with NPRA, which is the National Placement and Referral Alliance. That's for the independents that are out there as well. We have a great interview with Becky Bongiovanni, and she says, you know, they help with the placement, but there's about 50 other things that they and the senior need to get moved into senior living. One of those things is services like Mom's House. We have a national partnership. In fact, we're the exclusive lead buyer for Caring.com. It's a national aggregator. Those leads go right to the people that are in our network here at Mom's House. We have a new relationship with Elder Guide. And this is one that I've been working on for years. In this, we have over 30,000 daughter Judys actively in real time searching for senior living options right then. Guys, let me tell you something. We live in this window where they don't need to sell their house. They don't need to sell their house until they go, where are we going to move, Mom? Where are we going to move, Mom? Oh, we picked the place. Now how are we going to pay for it? And as soon as that moment, if they know where they're going to move their mother, where are they going to get the best care? That's number one. As soon as they know that answer, immediately they go to a scramble mode, and now how we're going to pay for it. So think about it right now. If you got a text right now that your mom had to move into senior living and the average cost is $6,000 a month, does your mom have $6,000 a month in checking that she can ride out every single month, or will she need to sell an asset? Most seniors need to sell an asset, or the family kicks in for a little while. You're going to call your rich brother or your rich sister and say, hey, brother, can you kick in for a little bit? He'll say, yeah, I'll kick in for a month or two, but then we need to sell Mom's house. And so this relationship with Elder Guide is going to be life-changing for all of us that want to join our program here at Mom's House. These people are searching in real time, and we want to work with you guys on helping those families. That's our mission of helping 30,000 daughter Judys a month. And this exclusive relationship we have with them is catapulting us to our goal. So in the senior living world, behind the walls, these are all the different job titles that work there. Is any one more important than the other? The answer is no. Anybody on here can help you get your foot in the door, but people like marketing, finance, and mission are the ones that have those hard conversations with families every single day. So you've got people like the proprietor, the fat cat, the one that owns the building. He's basically, or she's basically a multifamily real estate investor, but they have a lot of overhead, things like nurses and RNs and others, orderly staff, and finance directors and executive directors and marketing people, all the stuff that's outside of the scope of a normal multifamily, and they run on razor thin margins. In fact, they said post-COVID, the average stay-down, guys, in senior living is 21 months, where before COVID, it was 28 months. 28 months was already a short stay. The proprietors want them to stay as long as they can. And so the things that they care about is converting as many prospects into clients, reducing the discounts given, and extending the length of stay as much as they can. So guys, is there opportunity in a fragmented market? Without question that there is. There's over 29,000 assisted living communities. The biggest majority only own 6% of the market, called Brookdale. So there's very much a lot of fragmentation in the ownership of all these communities. That is good for you because there's not one clear dominant player like a Google or Kleenex in the market. That fragmentation allows you to go out and build these relationships. Who should you build relationships with? Executive directors or director of operations. Let me name multiple different things, but the person that runs the show at the senior living community, if you can take this off of their plate, they're very aware of the challenges that it takes to get them from their forever home into their community. And they know very much is they don't want to leave their house and their stuff to get there. And so options like Mom's House, when you explain it the right way, will be very interesting to these executive directors. The finance director is kind of like when you go in the back room to buy that car, and you go in the back and you know the sticker price, but then you have all these different options on how to finance it. The finance director is going to have a money conversation. It's called the discovery process with the family about how they're going to pay for care. And so that finance director can become your best friend because they're the one saying, hey, maybe you need to sell Mom's house. Have you heard of Mom's House? Have you heard of Philip? Can you go out and here's the person I would trust to go out and make you an offer on this house. When you get a lead from a finance director, that's a very, very powerful thing because that person's job is to not to allow someone broke to move into their community. In fact, we've had some of our Mom's House students have our contract for Mom's House be the thing that allows the finance director to give them the check mark to say, okay, it's okay that Mom can move in here because we know where the money is going to come from. They can't let broke people move into their communities for lots of reasons. And so the finance director can be your best friend. You've got people like move-in coordinators and marketing directors. They literally help people coordinate the move. It's such a giant undertaking for move-in coordination that these people have conversations with the families right at their kitchen table. Do you think them sitting at their kitchen table is valuable to us as the real estate investor? I mean, if you think about it, if they're kind of a hoarder or aggressive collector, as I lovingly call it, when they're there at the house, they already know the challenges it's going to take to get that house retail ready. When they say, you should call Philip, you should call Mom's House, they will help you take care of this in a very simple way. They're all ears. Guys, they're wanting services like what we have in this time of need. Like, is this house retail ready? Or even though it's clean, is it retail ready? You don't see carpet too often in the kitchen. You don't see red carpet too often in the kitchen. But the thing about the older generation is they sure kept it nice, even though it's way, way, way dated. And so the move-in coordinator, is not a rehabber. That's not their job, but it's their job to help them unlock that equity for care or get them moved in as quickly as possible. And so where we come in, guys, is the family. They're not trained to be rehabbers. That's not their job to be professional rehabbers. Sometimes they watch the TV shows, things like the flipping shows, the HGTV shows, and it makes it look easy, right? But we know in real life that it's nothing. It's not easy at all to hire contractors and pay for contractors and pick out the right colors. And so when we have this option of them, the family, not having to do any of those things, that makes our value prop very powerful. Things like social workers, care managers, guys. And by the way, if you're not writing all these job titles down, you should be. These are the people that are in the what's in it for them world. They're dealing with these families every day, answering the hard questions. When you build relationships and put these people, all these job titles we've been talking about, into your 20 is plenty. And in the VIP, we're going to be finding these people online to start building that 20 is plenty. This is the list that we're building that you're going to build lifelong relationships with. Those Bobs we talked about. How many Bobs? Guys, put in the chat. How many Bobs do you want in your life? The guy that gives you 3 deals a year for the next 10 years. How many of those Bobs do you want? For me, it's 20 is plenty. Guys, can I build 20 relationships that bring me deals year after year, month after month, where I don't have to think about where my leads are going to come from? This industry has a lot of acronyms. And before you say OMG, I want you to know that's what our training does, is we get you prepared so you can build trust in an industry that has a lot of acronyms. How about downsizing companies, guys? Downsizing companies are phenomenal. Why? Here's why. Can you rehab a house that looks like this in the picture? Can I go ahead and start showing up and put new carpet down tomorrow? Can I start painting tomorrow? No, the houses always need to be cleaned out before they can be rehabbed. And so downsizing companies, whether it's clean out companies to estate sale companies to auction companies, or just the straight buyout of everything that's there, they're perfectly timed with our goal, because we want to get to that house and help them with the clean out, help them get or do the things that they don't want to do, because very quickly the heirlooms pass. And what do I mean by that is guns and gold and jewelry, that stuff leaves in the first 15 minutes, and what's left is stuff. I don't really like the J word. I don't like to call it junk, but what's left is stuff. And not all of them look like this, right? They, varying degrees of houses, they're not necessarily junk. They're just full of stuff, right? Think about your own parents' house. Is there too much stuff at your parents' house? And so today, these 2 days we're spending with each other, we're talking about education, right? I'm educating you guys on what this industry is. And so this is a picture of my very first networking event right here. This is what it looks like. I had these 6 ladies staring back at me, and they look at you and they say, okay, Phil, how do you take care of seniors? Do you just lowball? How do you make money? All these things about their wall is up to try to say, should we trust you? And with our training, our implementation training, I'm going to show you exactly how to have the right answers, so those people not only trust you, but they bring you business year after year. In fact, when I look at the right, Allison on the right there, she's pregnant. Her son is now 11 years old. So that's how long I've known Allison. We're friends with her family, and our kids go to the same school. So we've built these relationships, but it started from this nucleus of this first thing, of this first networking event I was at. And guys, I did it all wrong. I said everything wrong. I did it wrong. And all of my training is so that way you don't have to suffer the way I did. I put my foot in my mouth all the time, yet I was too stubborn to give up. So I kept coming back. And that's what this training is all about. And so I always say, if this is this 2 days you guys are going to spend with me on education versus implementation, if this was a 2-day course on how to fly a plane, would you guys go flying with me? Would you guys let me be your pilot? And I hope all of you say no, because there's a huge difference between education and implementation. So learning and doing are very different things. And how you get good at this is by going out in your local market. That's why we started with this slide. By going out in your local market, finding your networking groups, finding those people in your 20 is plenty, and building relationships with you. Have you guys done the search on how many senior living communities are in your market? One of the first eye-opening things I do with any student is I say, let's look up how many senior living communities are in Denver. How many senior living communities are in Houston? How many are in Florida? If you're in Florida or Arizona, guys, you're in the mecca of senior living. That's where all the seniors live. And so how many are in your town? You're going to know very quickly. I'm 12 years in and I only know 10 communities. Guys, 20 relationships is plenty. Not 20 communities, 20 relationships total in the whole entire industry is plenty. So there's so much abundance here. This is all done through networking events. And today we're going to talk about when you get to those networking events, this is my fear. This is what I did wrong, guys. I put my foot in my mouth all the time. And so how are you going to be different? How are you going to go out and build these relationships and not be like this funny picture here is by knowing what to say. Been doing this a long time. This is a picture of me back in 2014 talking about how I help seniors. This is a networking event I was at called NAP 411, stood for Navigating the Aging Process Information. Because there's fragmentation, guys, there's no one like seniors networking group that's nationwide. That doesn't exist yet. It's not existed yet. And so there's a bunch of different networking groups in all your local towns. I can show you and help you on where to find them and how to get into those groups. And guys, if there's not many groups, it's even a better opportunity. You can be the first person to start the group in your community. Networking and volunteering are two different things. In my mind, they're the same now, but I want to break them down for you guys very simply. Networking is out. You're trying to find business from other people out trying to find business. Volunteering is standing next to the people who are also your people you network with, but showing them that you are a giver. Very quickly, senior living is going to ask the question, are you a giver or are you a taker? And I'm going to pick on my real estate agents for a little bit. Real estate agents are notoriously takers. When they show up at an event, they give their business card to everyone like they're candy, going, you get a card, you get a card, you get a card, and they think that's networking. And that's not how senior living works. They don't want to work with you until they know that you care. And so people that are volunteer with them, and there's tons of volunteering efforts in senior living, that's who they want to work with. So do you have the ability to spend an hour a week volunteering? That's how you'll be successful. And guys, it doesn't have to be just serving food or calling bingo. For me, I like to play pickleball. That's my vice. It's my favorite thing to do is play pickleball. And so guys like Harold, he's 95. He lives at the senior living community and we play pickleball together. Your hobby can be your volunteering. I've had students that they like to do pottery. They like to play music. You know, whatever your hobby is, there's also seniors most likely that are into that same thing. And so don't think that your hobby can't be also in senior living. It doesn't have to be something so stodgy. It can be something that you enjoy doing. Because here's why. If you don't enjoy doing it, you're going to stop anyway. But if it's something that you love or is your hobby, then that doesn't feel like you're working ever. And that's how you build this life where on Sunday night, you're excited that I get to go play pickleball with Harold on Monday because I'm networking with people in senior living. And that's a fulfilling life. And so these things are hiding in plain sight. Like on Facebook, this is the Senior Resource Team of St. Charles. That's the county over from where I live here. This is on Facebook, so a free group. St. Charles County Group for Professionals that are in long-term or elder care industry. They meet on the second Friday of each month from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The locations change monthly, so keep an eye out for an email or post to inform where they'll be. So there's networking groups. It's that red car syndrome, guys. It's happening all around us. I'm going to teach you guys how to look for it. We have lots of networking events all around us. Things like trunk or treats are happening right now. It's a big day for that. For Halloween, we've got people like that's the Care Patrol franchise person here in St. Louis. This was at a senior fair. There's a fall fairs and there's spring fairs. There was over 400 vendors there at this spring fair. So the question is, do you need to get a booth and start planting your flag? The answer is no, don't get a booth yet. You're not ready for it, and you probably don't need one. Your goal is to go network with those 400 people that also got booths because they're sitting there wanting to network and build relationships. And so I'm saving you money and time and effort. You don't need a booth. You definitely need to attend and go out. So the question is in senior living, you know, there's all these different nuances about this industry. Who would you call if you had a question? And the answer is hopefully us. We're looking to work with the right people. And so in senior living, guys, there's a lot of networking that happens, and they like to have a drink or two. And I mean that alcoholic drink. Do you have to drink alcohol to be successful at this business? No, but it helps. The reason why is they have a very tough job. Let's think about real estate for a second, guys. If you're an agent or an investor, what's the worst thing that can happen in your day? Is it that you lost a contract or a deal fell through, or maybe the cabinet showed up wrong or something like that? In their life, guys, in the senior living's life, they have turnover of 50% a year. So every person that lives there in the next year, half of those people pass away and a new group of people move in. Think about what I just said there. Their day job is life and death every single day. So when they go out and network, they want to let their hair down. They enjoy a drink or two, and that's where the real relationships are being built. And so people always say that, you know, just maybe that's a St. Louis thing, but all my students say, no, it's true. Senior living likes to have good food and good drinks. We got some beer right here on this flyer. You know, what is it like to network in senior living? They like to have fun. And I think, you know, if you have a business that you like, you're going to find that you have a fulfilling life. This is what it looks like to network in senior living, guys. So, I mean, is that exciting to you? I hope it is. That's what it looks like to network in senior living. They like to have fun. We were at an 80s party, and this is another version of the dance party. I hope that's exciting to you, because if you want to go out and build these relationships, you know, that was a Care Patrol. We were the national sponsor for Care Patrol, and, you know, for all of their franchisees, you know, probably cost 30, 50, 75 grand to join. I don't know what their franchise costs actually, but this was their national conference. And you know what they were teaching them how to do, guys, is build relationships with elder law attorneys, senior living communities, senior centers, SRES, real estate agents. Why do you think they need that relationship? Hospitals, churches, everything that we're talking about today. People in my 20 is plenty. That's what I'm sharing with you right now. And you don't have to join a franchise to learn this from me. I'm teaching you that right now. We were the national sponsor. This was Oasis last year, and we get to be part of these things about how the industry works and how they build their relationships. It's fun when you are put on a pedestal, guys. When people say, "Hey, Philip's the guy to call. Here's the houses they need to sell." It makes my job very easy to work with people that want to work with me. This is hiding in plain sight, I should say, all around us. We have one newspaper. In that newspaper, there's an attorney talking about the lady put the daughter's name on the house so that way the state couldn't take it. Then she needed to sell it to move into senior living, and she couldn't because the daughter said, "I'm not going to sign anything." So it's an attorney. You've got somebody buying gold and jewelry and all these things. You've got articles about if you have a cluttered house, if your mother lives in a cluttered house, she's more likely to have to move into senior living because of a fall. So if you learn anything from these 2 days, guys, go to your mom's house and make sure pick up any loose rugs or anything that could be a trip hazard, because that's what causes people to move into senior living. In the same newspaper, the Quinn Law Firm, they want to help you with estate sales. Why did I show you all those different things? It's because each job title and each person has a different what's in it for them. And so you can't have one elevator pitch for all of them. You got to learn the nuances of what each one of those people need, so that way you can be a tool for them. Going out, building relationships in senior living and building trust in your market is key to this, so you don't put your foot in your mouth. And that's where our training comes in. Once again, we see here with Help Me Susan, what is on this flyer, guys? Somebody put in the chat, what do they say on the flyer? Light snacks, but also beer, wine, and soda, right? We have fun at all of these. Nothing like a good pint. Clive, I'm sure we could have some fun together, Clive. Share a pint together. Once again, more beer. What if your thing is cooking? Like Ben, he likes to make meatballs for seniors. The story he told me there is that the executive director put a little water in the wine because some of the ladies drank a little too much red wine, so they always try to water it down a little bit. And so what if you like to dress up like a turkey and get shot by seniors, right? My point is you can have fun with this. There's Ben. He went to a local senior living community and just brought joy to the people around him. Why are you doing this? Why? Because it's fun to do. It's the right thing to do, and it helps you build relationships with the decision makers there in senior living. Do they know if you're a giver or a taker if you volunteer your time? So if we told you who the people are and we told you where they hang out, how do you build connections, guys? It's by being elbow to elbow with the people that are volunteering. They are going to, for you to pass their sniff test, they have to say this person's a giver or this person is a taker. And so I was able back during COVID to help build some false walls, or these plexiglass walls, temporary walls, I should call them, for about 16 communities where, if you remember back, people were not able to see or hug their loved ones. And we were able to build this for 16 communities, so that way people could be brought out and they could say, and in some cases, their last goodbyes to their family member during a very solemn time that was COVID. And so being part of this, guys, that fulfilling side, we get to build relationships through giving back. Last year, our whole Mom's House team was able to give out cookies at a senior living community as a volunteering effort. I got to meet a lady who was 100 and another lady that was 101. And it was very fulfilling to do this, to go out and be part of the community. And I don't know why my eyes are closed in every one of these pictures, but that's just the way it is. But we were able to go out and spread joy and have fun. That's what this networking is. Here's a picture of me back in 2011. I didn't have hair back then either. And so I've been doing this a long time, and I've been consistent at it. And it's been how my life changed from real estate, how I got away from having to spend thousands of dollars a month on marketing was by being part of the senior living industry. Here's what it looks like. Here's what a networking event looks like. And this was in Wichita, Kansas. This is what senior living looks like. Can you go out and build relationships with people and put on events that bring people together? That's how you make your name known in your local town. We're part of a different associations, things like the RAL Nat Con, or the National Association of Residential Assisted Living Communities. Those are basically houses that are turned into residential care for seniors. I was able to drive this gentleman, he's a mayor, around. Rolls-Royce gave me a $404,000 car to drive this guy to be a grand marshal. Kind of cool if you're into cars. And so that's all from real estate. I try to take every opportunity I can get to go out and brand myself via podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard me on the Steve Trang podcast, but it was one of those great podcasts that catapulted my business because I was out talking about what Mom's House is. But it's all around us, guys. I'll give you the snow cone story. Last summer, it was a Friday night. We were out with my family getting snow cones, and the lady on the left there had a shirt on that said McKnight Place. And I knew that that was a senior living community. And I, instead of going right for the kill to say, hey, I know you're in senior living, we should talk, we were talking about our dog breeds. We have a Whippet, which is a unique kind of dog, and she had a unique dog breed as well. And I waited, got to know her a little bit and started talking about her shirt. I know that she was in senior living, and her job was a move-in coordinator for the past 16 years. And she said, the quote to me is, "Where have you been all my life?" It was her quote, because she said, just today I had a lady that had so much stuff. She didn't know how she was ever going to get her house retail ready and didn't want to go through those steps. And so somebody that's been in this business for 16 years says, Philip, where has Mom's House been all of her life? She said, Phil, you need to come in and meet with my executive director. And that's a picture of what we were doing there. I got to come in and meet with this community and say, here's what Mom's House does, building this relationship, because now I'm a tool for that community. So that way, when they have families that don't know what to do with the house or how to unlock that equity for care, I'm the person that they call. I've been networking in senior living a long time, guys. And I've networked in real estate for even longer. And for 25 years in real estate, it seems like every networking event I go to for real estate, I should say, somebody's always showing the size of their check. Have you guys noticed that? Real estate, we love to show our check. Here's our check size. Here's our check. And in senior living, I've been doing this for over 12 years now. No one has ever shown me their check yet. No one's ever shown me the size of their check. It's a very different industry. They care about different things. And so it's not so transactional. It's more about having fun and getting social and knowing that you care about people. Having fun is the name of the game. Getting your name out there is the name of the game. What does it mean to be behind the curtain? Well, you're going to get texts like what I get. Scott is an attorney. He said, hey, man, I have a house for you to look at. It's in North County, being sold out of probate. He's the executor of the estate. Interested in looking? I said, yes, sir. I'll take it. Or how about Jay? He's one of my downsizing people. He said, good evening. Hope you and the family are doing well. I wanted to see about your interest level in a large split level in Crestwood. Crestwood's a great part of town here in St. Louis. I said, I'll take it, which is my joking way to say, think of me on every house you have, because I'm at least going to make them an offer. So how do you master the ask? You're out, you understand how big the opportunity is. You found the networking events. You've started building relationships with these people. How do you master the ask? What do you need to do to say, get this business, right? We're on here to make a living, right? Well, we all agree. Can you guys put in the chat, you're here to make a living? Yes, that's what we're doing here. How do you master the ask? Because I want to speed this whole process up for when you guys show up at senior living, that you can master the ask on your initial meeting of these people. Guys, are you interested in that? Do you want to ask for the business the very first time you meet them? That's what we're going to talk about next. One of my students, Matt, he helped a lady move from California to Colorado, and he was able to make $42,000 helping a family deal with something that they could not or would not have ever dealt with on their own. How about Heather? She's the blonde lady there. She set a record for Mom's House. She bought a house and did a rehab on it, and she made 140 grand on one deal. Think about, now that's not typical results, guys. In fact, that's a record for Mom's House students. But think about how life-changing it is if you make 140 grand on one deal. You know, even the average profit's 18,000. Think about that. If you can consistently do average deals, how much your life would change. Guys, the fastest and easiest ways to profit is through partnerships like Mom's House. We have over $1 billion in buying power and a proven system that you guys can plug right into. But this is only going to work for the people that have these two qualities, which is loving real estate and helping others. We talked earlier about these 10 characteristics. Put in the chat, do you guys have a better lead source than this? If you do, please let me know, because I want to do it in my own market. But if you don't, let's keep going here. On your own, guys, you know, what's going to happen is what I went through. Even with a good heart, an open heart, you're still going to put your foot in your mouth. I spent the past decade perfecting this system that is becoming a senior transition specialist. So you don't walk in and say, I'm an investor, I'm a realtor. And guess what? I am an investor and I'm a real estate agent, but that's not how you lead yourself in senior living. When you walk in and say, I'm an investor, all they hear is dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. All they hear is the shark Jaws theme when you say, I'm an investor. Why do we always love that word? I'm an investor. Does it sound cool? Does it make it sound like we have a lot of money to say I'm an investor? What if they say I'm a real estate agent? It might even be worse, guys, if you say I'm a real estate agent, because here's why: their crocodile brain shuts off. When was the last time you met somebody, a real estate agent, and you're like, oh, tell me more about that? The answer is probably 30 years ago was the last time you did that, because everyone knows what a real estate agent is. That's how this industry has been fixing this problem for the past 30 years, is to, you know, they spend $1 million a month on marketing to bring people in to do a tour, only to push them right back out the door and say, go find a real estate agent. And when you guys figure that out, what's figure that out mean is find your money. When you figure that out, please come back and see us. It's a messed up business. Senior living, guys, is like a car dealership that doesn't buy the trade-in. And so when you show up as a senior transition specialist, now it makes them lean in and say, oh, what does that mean? Tell me more. That keeps the door open for you to talk about what you do and how you help families. Trying to save your guys, save yourself the embarrassment of not doing this, so you don't have to have the learning curve that I had. You know, if I wasn't stubborn, we wouldn't be here right now, because I had to keep coming back. I knew I had peanut butter and chocolate. I knew I had to make the Reese's peanut butter cups, but I just had to keep fighting to figure out the right way to do this. So my training is so you guys don't have to fail out of the gate. Stop making real estate so hard, guys. Your marketing budget can be zero. You can be the only investor working these deals. Something you can be proud of. Can you guys go to Thanksgiving and meet your family and say, guess what I do for a living now? Building something sustainable and certain is pretty exciting. So obviously, guys, I could talk about the subject for 3-4 days straight, easily. I can't show you everything that I've learned or that Mom's House is or about this certification has in less than these 2 hours that we've been together. And so what I want to talk to you guys about, becoming a senior transition specialist, that certification, what it will teach you. It'll show you how to separate yourself from the crowded old school investor marketing world, how to do something different, guys. If you want to get away from the Me Too, you have to take action in doing something different. How do you separate yourself? How will you do that? How do you stand out from the We Buy Ugly Houses types? How can you drive your marketing budget down to zero? It is real that you can have a zero marketing budget when you do this the right way. How can you help others while still making a great living? To me, that's the American dream. Helping others while still making a great living is the American dream, and how to have an impact with your business, how to have fulfillment. If you guys care about that, I think a lot of us, that if you guys are listening to me right now, you do care about this, because it's something different, and it's, you know, we want to leave a legacy and an impact on the world. I always try to, everyone I see, even when I leave my office today, I try to smile at somebody, hold doors open, and say something kind, and maybe be that one thing that day that was an impact on their life of positivity. We have a lot of negativity, right? Just watch the news or get into politics or religion, or at least we have a lot of things around us that we can argue about, but let's don't do that. How do we have an impact of good, of love? And that's what being a senior transition specialist is. So guys, what do you get with becoming a senior transition specialist with that certification? What does that mean? You get to use this in your socials to the world, that you have been certified as a senior transition specialist, that you've gone through the Mom's House training. You get access to our official brand that is known nationwide as the place that buys the trade-in. That is what we are. We are the home trading guarantee for senior living. And that official branding guide is going to show you exactly how to represent yourself to the senior living industry so that you can show that you are valuable and a trustworthy partner, right? To bring some of those walls down that they have up. And guys, guess what? They should have those walls up. Their job is to protect seniors, right? And our job is to protect seniors as well. And that should matter to you. In fact, anyone that joins our program, they take an oath that they're going to put seniors first. Doesn't mean you can't be profitable, guys. That's not what we're saying. It's just that we do it the right way. We've got the home study program. Take a deep dive into how to master this strategy. There's 9 things that we're going over, guys. We have over 20 hours of content about those 9 modules on how to build a lifelong lead source while creating value for your community. We're just scratching the surface of what it means to build this business to have a reoccurring lead source to you. We literally have a 10-step action plan, my playbook, that's going to give you the confidence to immediately implement this system in your local market. We have a unique selling strategy that's going to allow you to close more deals. Things like creative financing, guys. What a great way to buy houses right now with the interest rates the way they are. What a great way to buy people's houses and pay them more money for their houses, give them more than they thought they were going to get. And some of those strategies are in what we do here at Mom's House. The fulfillment formula, how to get crystal clear on your mindset and how to be part of the mission to help more families. How do we retrain our brain to not be so possessive and selfish, but more go-giving, loving, put that out there, the abundance mentality mindset. That's how we act here at Mom's House. We're going to teach you about 10 different roles in senior living, learn the who and the how you fit into the process of senior living transition, creating multiple win-wins for not only the seniors, the daughter Judy, the senior living industry themselves, and then anyone here that's listening as an investor or real estate agent. The 20th Plenty Training and Resource Guide, guys, is the complete walkthrough of how to build your localized list of potential referral partners. We're going to do that today. For everyone on the VIP, guys, momshouse.com/VIP, we're going to pick one of you out of the audience and build your 20th Plenty live so everyone can see how this is done, to show you exactly who to talk to, how to find them, and what to say, because that is your own custom personal list. With that, we use the keyword search guide. It's going to give you the already tested what to look for in your local area on how to build your 20th Plenty list. You don't stop at 20. That's the end result of putting the right people on your list. What should you say to them? We have the call scripts and the icebreaker scripts, so you don't think you can just walk into the community, guys, and wing it. If you think you can do that, you're going to be on the outside looking in. So we have the copy and paste scripts so that you can have success right away. So that way you can feel confident in your approach with these tried and true and these tested methods of doing this the right way. You get access to these the Certified Senior Transition Specialist community. We have over 1,000 people in that group they're certified on the same mission. We do pop-up coaching calls there where you can come in and have your questions answered. And so be part of this mission to help 30,000 daughter duties a month. And here's something I want to invite you guys to. I'm here at my office right now in the west suburb of St. Louis. I want to invite you guys in this certification to come to St. Louis. I'm going to give you 2 tickets. Why would I give you 2 tickets? I know you either have a business partner or a partner that should be part of these decisions to do something new with your life or join this movement. And so we give you 2 tickets to come to the Implementation Summit. There's education that we can do online, but then the Implementation Summit we do right here in my office. It's over a $5,000 value. We'll give you 2 tickets to that. Included in this. Why? Because we know it takes the right learning to implement this the right way. We have limited dates coming up, guys, for this. To join this program, all you have to do is go to momshouse.com/go. There's limited dates available. In fact, we've got it planned out for the next 3 months. December 4th, 5th, and 6th is almost sold out. So if you can join that one, great. January 8th, 9th, and 10th, or February 5th through the 7th. We even have a virtual option coming soon. So there's nothing better than being here live. You guys, if you see our Google reviews online, over 200 people have given us a 5-star review on our in-person training because of how valuable this information is. And so go to momshouse.com/go to become a senior transition specialist. What does it cost to get certified, right, guys? What does it cost? It's a one-time charge of only $997. It's our challenge special that we're doing right now today. It's a one-time investment. No continuing fees. Guys, think if you even do one deal from this, you're going to pay yourself back 20-fold if you have my average profit, right? momshouse.com/go. It's a one-time charge of $997. You get all those things we talked about, the 2 tickets to come to St. Louis as well. In that 3 days when you come, we want to give you a challenge bonus number 1. It's 1 hour an exclusive cocktail event the night before our 3-day training. So we call it day 0, any of those dates, that whatever that night is before. When you come into St. Louis, come together. We have a glass of wine together, break bread together, get to know each other. That's included as a challenge bonus. We also give 30 days of coaching. Now, this is only going to be for the first 20 people that sign up today. We only have room for about 20 to do this because it takes a lot of my time. But 30 days of coaching is challenge bonus number 2. So that way you can get started right away. Challenge bonus number 3. I told you that I reward the action takers, guys. So anybody that signed up for the VIP, thank you. And I want to reward you by giving you a $100 bill when you get to St. Louis. When you're at the end of day 3, I want to give you a $100 bill and say thank you for being one of my VIP members. Of course, to do that, you have to pay the $9.97 to come to St. Louis. But I want to reward all of my VIP members for investing in the VIP members. So, guys, this is a no-brainer at this point. If you already know that you're going to do the $9.97, go ahead and sign up for the VIP because I'm going to give you the $100 back. This offer only lasts until Sunday night at midnight. But I love to reward my action takers. Why, guys? We need help. If I haven't been clear about what Mom's House's mission is, we don't have enough people to service the 30,000 daughter duties coming through our system. And so we need help. And this is how you do it, is becoming a senior transition specialist, getting this certification, working in our system. Be the cream, guys, right? We're the cookie. We'll give you that warm hug on both sides, but I need the cream. And so I want to reward my VIP members by giving you that $100 off. So I talk fast, so let me go through this really quickly. What you get is the official Senior Transition Specialist certification and brand access. That's worth a ton right there. You get 2 tickets to come to the Implementation Summit. We have the 3 dates already on the book and a virtual option coming soon. We have the certification, branding guide, and templates. How you show yourself to the world means a lot. It means a ton. And so how we show ourselves to the world is super valuable, super important. We have the complete home study course. That alone used to sell for $14.97. Just the home study course, and that's included in this for $9.97. The literal 10-step action plan of how to get started. We go over our unique selling strategies, things like creative financing, the fulfillment formula, so you have your mindset right before you go out and build these relationships. We give you the straight guide. And what's in that guide? We kind of went over those 10 roles today pretty quickly. What if you knew about them, the nuance about each one of them, where to find them, what to say? That 10 roles guide is about that person very deep. So that way, when you're next to them, we used to call this like Philip in your pocket, right? Like if I was standing there next to you in a networking event, I'd say, hey, I'd hit you on the elbow and be like, hey, make sure you remind them about this, or why this makes them more profitable, or how this helps them with their day job. Like there's nuances to each one of these. That guide to the 10 roles in senior living is super valuable. We have the 20 is Plenty quick start guide for one of you today in the VIP. We're going to build that live. We're going to pick somebody out of the audience. We have the call scripts of what to say, and we spend a lot of time on what not to say, guys, in that, because how we present ourselves is super important. What we don't say is super important. And access to our nationwide senior transition specialist community, these like-minded people. We have a great group. I'm in there every day. It's on a platform called School, and I'm interacting with all these people about, hey, what are our challenges? We celebrate the wins. We figure out how to help seniors in their time of need. That's number one. How do we help seniors in their time of need? Get the certification, guys. It's only $9.97. All you have to do is go to momshouse.com/go. It's a one-time charge. Plus, you get the 3 bonuses, the VIP meet and greet when you come to St. Louis. You get the 30 days of coaching for the first 20 people, and you get $100 off for those VIP members. I can't wait to give those $100 bills out, because that means you've gone through our online training, you've made it to St. Louis, you've been certified, and you understand that you're in the right place. Guys, it's one of these moments where people realize that they have a purpose now for their life. It's that big of a deal to become a senior transition specialist. And so for those that want to join, guys, go to momshouse.com/go. How would you guys like to be part of something like this? A sustainable business that works in any economy. It's something you can be proud of for your family. Imagine being at Thanksgiving here in a few weeks and telling your brother-in-law what you're doing now, right? You can say, hey, I'm part of something awesome. What are you up to these days, right? Making real estate deals that constantly and consistently come directly to you versus you chasing them. Guys, if you had too many leads, you wouldn't be on this right now. You wouldn't be listening to me right now. So I know you have this need about having more leads come to you. If you got 90% of your time back, guys, what would this be worth? If you didn't have to go out and do all this direct response marketing, what would it be worth to you to have that time back? I need 5 hours a week, guys, 5 hours of freedom, we call it. You can make your monthly marketing budget zero if you implement this program. And it's going to give you some certainty in an uncertain world, right? We have a lot of uncertainty out there right now. So, guys, you've got 2 choices to do. We're going to be here tomorrow, obviously, as well, but you've got 2 choices to make right now. You can do nothing and continue to working the same lists the same markets as everyone else, the same type of marketing strategies, or you can act now and start working with the fastest growing niche in real estate, guys. I'm out here putting these challenges on to say, hey, we've got Biff's book, right? We know the future. Do you want to make the bet, right? If you already knew the outcome, wouldn't be betting be a lot easier? And we already know the outcome. This is where real estate deals, if I can be so bold, this is real estate. This is where the deals are going to come from. We're so confident in our offer of the $997, guys, that if after you take the live class here in St. Louis, if you're not completely satisfied and felt like you didn't get 10 times your value, I'm going to write you a check on site to cover your registration fee in full right then and there. Why do we have that money back guarantee? Because we know how valuable our training is, and that's why we offer this. So I don't even need a yes today. I need you to sign up for the $997, come to St. Louis, take the training, and then make your decision right then that did you get 10 times your value in this training? We know you will, and that's why we have this money back guarantee. It's a simple process, guys, when you have the training. I'll show you how to build your exact 20 is plenty list. In fact, we're going to do that here in a few minutes with our VIP. We're going to show you exactly where they are, exactly what to say to them. We're going to teach you how to ask for the sale on your first interaction. We're not going to make you wait a year. You can keep your deals if you already know how to do that, or, guys, you can bring those back to us, and we're going to help you sell them. We're going to sell with you. We're that bottom side of the cookie, right? You're the cream. Bring us the deal. We're going to do the deals with you. And then we repeat that like a pumping oil well over and over and over again. How much would you pay for one relationship called Bob, right? Those 3 deals a year, making 15 grand a deal, you know, for the next 10 years. How much would you pay for that one relationship? Here's what I know for certain, guys. People are going to continue to age in your town. So I don't care if you live in Los Angeles or New York City. People are going to continue to age. This works in every market where people are aging. The adult children are going to want to give their loved ones the best end-of-life care they can. Right? I'm going to want to do it. I hope you're going to want to do it. We all care about our family, our parents. This is not a trendy marketing tactic that we're doing that's going to be gone tomorrow. This is something you can sink your teeth into, your life into, have a mission to devote your life to this, which is awesome, right? To have a purpose every day, that's what's fulfilling. So here's a couple of things to think about. There's no monthly marketing cost. And what if your wife or your husband got to retire from their current stressful job to do this with you? Some of my favorite couples that come out to St. Louis are the power couples where he's a nurse and she got into real estate and now they want to do this full time, building this together. It's a great business for good people. Guys, if this only gave you half of your time back that you spent trying to make your phone ring, what would it be worth? If you had an ongoing marketing budget of $0, how much would that be worth to you over time? If it allowed you to not think about where your next deal was going to come from, what would that be worth? So imagine for me, if you will, what would your life be like if the deals chase you? And what would your life be like if you could feel significant for getting to help others, that fulfillment? And what happens if you take back control of your life? This is a great value. It's an unbelievable value for only $997. We get all those things that we talked about here. All you have to do is go to momshouse.com/go. And we'd like for you guys to join and become a senior transition specialist. How to get started immediately, guys. Get the course, do the few hours of training online. Attend the summit, pick your dates. We feed you well, and the information is phenomenal, teaching you how to implement this in your market. You can go ahead and join the online Senior Transition Certified Network. Start that right away. One of the first questions we ask you is how many communities are in your market? And people are always shocked about how much opportunity is all around them, hiding in plain sight. We're going to show you exactly who to target, how to find them, and what to say so you can make meaningful relationships with the right people. So, guys, you can buy houses over and over again. Ryan, I don't know how many spots we have left right now, but I think we have under 10 spots for the rest of the week. So when you sign up, you're going to get a one-on-one call with our enrollment team to kind of see where you're at in your business, right? What your goals are, to design a plan of action. So, guys, book a call now before our calendar fills up. We want you guys to get on with our success team so that way we can get this ball rolling as quickly as possible so you can start making money tomorrow. That's the goal for all of us. If you're like me, guys, you probably have a lot of questions. I hope you have a lot of questions. But here's some of them that I would have if I was listening to myself talk about this. How much time will this take? Like, you want to do this, but Phil, this is great, but how much time will it take? I need 5 hours a week, guys. 5 hours to freedom to make this work the right way. Do you have to have credit to do this? Absolutely not. Why isn't anyone else doing this? Great question. That's what I'm on here for. Every day I'm getting more and more people to become part of the Mom's House mission. And so hurry before somebody else is doing it, right? That's the whole idea. Let's take advantage of having Biff's book. We already know the outcome. Let's go make these sure bets. What if you're not a people person? Well, that might be tough, guys. If you're out building relationships, if you're not a people person, instead of you trying to become one, because I don't think that's sustainable, I can teach you how to hire to retire. There's someone in your market right now that works in senior living, that's already beloved by all, that would love to work for you, and they don't make crazy money like you might think. Real estate, there's a ton of money. In senior living, a lot of these people make 30, 40 grand a year, guys, and you could hire those people easily to be the face of your company to build those relationships if you don't think you're a people person. Can you wholesale these? Sure. Yes, you can. Can you keep them as rentals or residential assisted living communities? Please do. Keeping rentals is one of the best ways to build wealth, to hedge against inflation. And so, yes, when you have your own lead source, guys, you get to pick and choose what you want to do with them. Will people stop going into long-term care soon? Absolutely not. In fact, if you look at the charts, they're all pointed straight up. This is going to be continuing to grow for the next 10 to 15 years. And what if I don't have prior real estate investment experience? Is that bad? Absolutely not. In fact, it's easier for me to train you the right way the first time than it is for me to teach a real estate agent or a real estate investor how to not talk like an investor or a real estate agent. And so you're not behind if you don't have prior real estate investment experience. Now, of course, if you know how to rehab, if you know how to buy and sell, if you've been a real estate agent, great. Those things will help you with this, but you do not have to have prior real estate investment experience to be successful at this. Guys like Stan, he did 98 grand on his first deal. That's a heck of a number. What about guys like Reed? He was a horse farmer, and he retired, and he made almost 51 grand really on his first deal. And his quote was saying, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And if you knew Reed's personality, it's so true, because he is not a salesman. He just followed the steps to have success. Two of my favorite students here, Stephanie and Michelle. Stephanie is the blonde lady on the bottom there. She's a retired police officer. She got to retire about 5 months ago now. And she was able to retire because of Mom's House. Michelle's her partner, and they're on their fourth deal right now that made over 25 grand each deal. So now she's not having the stress of being a police officer. If you are in law enforcement, I want to thank you for your job, because I know how hard that is, what you guys do for us every day. She was able to quit that stressful job to do real estate full time. They've devoted their lives, Stephanie and Michelle have, to the Mom's House mission. And, just recently, I'll try to show you guys the testimonials tomorrow. Just 2 weeks ago, they were working on a deal that was getting ready to blow up. And I said, hold on. Have you done this, this, and this? And they were able to go out and save the deal. And in real estate, it's all or nothing. You either get zero or the whole amount. There is no in between for doing half the job. And so that's the type of training and coaching that we have here. I take very seriously helping my students when there's a deal to talk about. Like, I've done it 1,000 times. So none of this stuff is, it's very second nature to me, because I love doing this. So if you're just getting started, you need somebody on your team, somebody like David Dodge that can come in, has done 1,000 deals. A guy like me, I have the senior living training and the real estate. David is more the real estate side. We want to help you get confident in buying real estate. Industry examples. I enjoy sending my clients to Philip because they always tell me what a joy he is to work with. That's Ryan in the middle. He's an executive director for communities, right? So he enjoys sending his clients to me because why? He needs me to help them unlock their equity for care, right? So that's what an example of a executive director, when you work with them, when they want to refer to you because now you're a tool for their business, how exciting this business can be. Or guys like David, he does something called aid and attendance. Do you guys know what that is? It's a veteran's benefit, and it's designed for people that served in wartime. And what a lot of Americans don't know, maybe you can learn something today. Maybe you already know, I don't know. But a lot of Americans, stereotypically, the husband served in wartime, he's passed away, and now the wife is eligible for aid and attendance, but they don't know that. And so guys like David were able to get them money to pay for care, and that when you're getting aid and attendance, you're paying for care. So what do we know about that from our world, the real estate world, selfishly? Oh man, if they're moving into care, that means they're probably going to need to sell Mom's house. So we gave the example of Bob doing 3 deals a year. I do about 8 deals a year with David. So what is my relationship with David worth, right? That's one relationship, guys. And so when I say 20 is plenty, when you have relationships with 20 of the right people, you're going to have an abundance of deals coming to you. Guys, if you don't take this seriously, you're going to be buying houses from someone else who did. So go to momshouse.com/go so that way you can become a senior transition specialist. The goal is becoming known, liked, and trusted, right? We're all going to start off being known pretty quickly. Then being liked is a little bit harder, but we're shooting to be trusted. My entire training is to speed that process up so you can start out by not putting your foot in your mouth like I did for so many years, but to do it right the first time. So you get everything there that we talked about in this training. Go to momshouse.com/go. We've got the 3 different dates and a virtual option coming soon. So we're almost sold out for the December date, but we just opened up January and February. And so these are limited dates available for this year and into next year. It's already almost 2024, right? Don't let another new year pass by without making a change in our lives. We offered a guide for you guys about the Challenge 10. Here is the link. I think we're going to have that dropped into the chat. Ryan, if you can make sure we get that link dropped into the chat. That was our free gift to you guys. We want to give you everything that we've promised here today and share all the knowledge that we can with you. Guys, day 2 tomorrow, we're going to go over sections 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're going to go over the where, the how, and the cost versus value guide. In these 2 days, just the cost versus value guide that I'm going to teach you about was worth your time to come. It's going to make you a better house buyer, period. It's one of those things that makes your jaw just drop. You're like, that can't be true. And when we show you how true it is, you're going to be able to have that answer for when they say, Philip, do you just lowball? And the answer is, of course I don't. And I'm going to have the reason why with the cost versus value. Now, guys, for the VIP membership, you should have the link. Or Ryan, you want to talk about the link from their email, or what's the next step for our
Yeah,
VIP?
I already got the Zoom call open for our VIP members. So we'll start that here soon. I did also just drop a link in the chat on YouTube. I'll make sure it gets over on Facebook as well to the top 10 roles. So if you're taking notes on the top 10 people that you need to build relationships with to build recurring referrals, great job. But now we also gave you a supplement to this as a ton more information. So thanks for sticking to the end of day 1. Hope you enjoyed the Monster Leads Lab. That is in the chat. It's at momshouse.com/challenge-10. So I hope you guys can join us for day 2. Great job today, Philip. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hope you have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the Monster Leads Lab. Like I said, once again, we love doing this with you guys. The Zoom call is open, so jump over there for VIP members. And remember, if you are thinking about joining and becoming the certification program at momshouse.com/go, think about joining VIP as well, because you get your money back when you come and see us. So we're jumping over there right now for a 1-hour call where we get to ask your questions. We're going to be diving into the 20 is plenty. For everyone else that's not a VIP member, we'll see you tomorrow at the exact same time. That's noon Eastern for day 2.
Thank you for being here today, guys. I had a lot of fun, talking for 2 hours and 20 minutes straight. I apologize. It's a lot. And so, but there's a lot to teach you about here. This is a giant opportunity. If you have Biff's book with all the results, I'm very passionate about getting this out to the world, guys. It's so obvious what's happening here, and we want you guys to be a part of it. And so I look forward to seeing all the people in the VIP here in a few minutes.
Great. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.